best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me. I saw no shadow, I looked around, searched every building and home that I found. I saw no shadow, but felt a glow. The warmth inside me, it kept me afloat. It felt like heaven had found my bones and gave me comfort when I feel alone. Now you're gone, I'm alone. I guess it's time to get better. Through the pain, I will go alone. If I fall, break my bones, I will scream even louder. 'Cause I'm not dying alone. I lost my best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me. I lost my best friend to 23. I heard the heavens crying above me. They gained an angel, I lost a friend. I felt like dying again and again. I went through hell, stared at death, but I keep fighting with each living breath. I saw no way out from where I stood. Felt like the fire had burned me through. Now you're gone, I'm alone. I guess it's time to get better. Through the pain, I will go alone. If I fall, break my bones, I will scream even louder. 'Cause I'm not dying alone. I lost my best friend.
Good evening, folks. How are we running on this fine midweek day? Excuse me while I move the microphone. Sure there's going to be some noise out of that, but we're done. Okay. Alright. Got a couple of casts planned out for you fellas today. Hopefully we can get some good little games going. Yeah. We'll see how we go on that. Either way. Have our first game of the night lined up, and it is a bit of a fun one. I put in the correct details and search it up, find it and realize I put in the wrong number because that is 100% not it. Oh no. Oh no, I have written down the wrong replay ID. Dear, oh dear. How does it feel to be me right now? Well, it feels pretty goddamn shit. Hang on a second, I remember a couple of players. I think I can find it if I have a look. There we go. Ah, yes. One digit wrong. Well done me. I believe it's this one. Yes, it looks good. It looks right. Rest of the details match. Okay, no, we're good to go. Alright, folks. So, false start. Terrible start, actually. Get everything else wrong. So, without further ado, we're just going to launch into this game. No more blah, no more blather. Let's do it. Let's go. And let us have a go at it. Rightio. So, you guys know me. You know my casting. I like to have some bit more random maps, and I do like the random maps. And we are actually starting out, let me sort these with a, well, 100% a random map. These are just mixes all over the place. Just look at them all. If there was a way to double click on these and count how many there were, I'd love to know. But anyway, map generator is the name, and it is 7 versus 7. We have team 1 up the top here and team 2 down the bottom, and we have a mixture of, we've got a couple of pros thrown in with a bunch of Joes, so let's have a look at these guys and see who we are looking. There is some water if you really want to build a navy factory. I don't know if it would actually work, but anyhow, on the left for Team 1 we have Mochilil. He is UEF in light blue. Beside him it is Nightblood, got himself yellow in UEF. The next front player for Team 1, it is Geneva Convention. Let's see how many of those he breaks. He is Cybran, he is Burgundy, and the final player up the front for Team number 1, it is D10K. And he is pink, and he is Seraphim, and off they go. First rear position, it is Fiasco 21, another UEF player, and he's in snot green. But finally at the back we have Matthew Paris, he's Seraphim, he's red, and sorry I said finally, but we just about completely skipped over this fella, and he's already walking his common well away as Bratva. We've seen that the guy before. He is purple, he is Seraphim, and he is stomping his way happily over to the left because, well, I think he kind of needs to. He's got 3 mass extractors and a hydro, and nothing else, so he's got to expand to grab more mixes, and off he goes. Alright folks, and their opponents today on team number 2. Going first we have Rowan Morse, Whitey, I don't know why Whitey. Anyway, he's green, he's Seraphim, and he's having a good time. And we actually see here, same thing happened with Earth. Earth is going for a jaunt with his comm, and he needs to, as mentioned, he's been told to get back to his base, but he has no eco. Kind of has to, but anyway, Rowan tells him to bugger off, and well, bugger off is what he does. Beside Rowan, we have, he's already on his way well out to the front, it is Captain Numa, this Numa guy, and he is bright pink, he's Aeon, third player up the front for team number 2, it is Carl Hoffman. He's waltzing his way away, and he is in puke yellow. Finally for the front player, if you will, well on his way to the front as well, it is Azeros. He's a lavender, he's Seraphim, and beside him, and also stomping away, it is Infinity. He's walking up at quite a rate, he's UEF, he's grey, and to round off the final player for team number 2, it is Deinonychus. Oh god, I remember this guy's name, I hate it. Deinonychus. I've got to remember that. I always want to say the vowels a bit extra, but anyway, he's white, he's Aeon. He is a go. So there we have it. Reclaim on the map, well, there's not that much of it. Got a bunch of rocks around the place, a couple of larger rocks, but honestly, may not be worth risking things over. Certainly well worth grabbing if you can, but hey, no. A few labs running around, I guess they're trying to maybe pick up an engineer that was going for that rock from Mochilil, so they're on their merry way. If they keep going the way they are, all they're going to do is run into a comm. Yeah. Horrible death, though standing around here is not a great idea. Enemy commander plus reinforcements are coming in. Engine's going to pick up and build a factory really quickly, so Numa needs to consider moving back. Down here we can see D10K has walked way up with this comm. Wanted to secure the area, maybe distract units while he pops engines around behind them, trying to pick up all the mass extractors. Not going to work too well. The comm's just going to stand there and do nothing, except build a factory, while they just get back here and murder all the engines. Alright, bit of comm action in the middle, and well, Numa can't really afford to stay there. As long as it was just a command, he'd be fine, but the problem is the units. They're going to start rolling off the factories, and it's going to be reinforcements right in his face, so he cannot stay there by himself. Down here, Carl Hoffman is sort of just having a bit of a wander, and Nightblood is... No, I thought he might be moving up. He's just grabbing some more reclaim, grabbing a mass extractor. At the moment, it is a bit of this on this, and actually, looks like Numa has brought up reinforcements of his own, which he absolutely needed to do. If he can take down the factory, that would be great. Buy him a little bit of time. He does. These are Auroras, so of course they do have the whole range thing, so he'll be fine over there. But on the left, we have quite a bit of a push from Mr. Azeros. He's rolled on up and said hello to Mochilil to his face, and Mochilil has lost some things, lost some units, and is running forwards with his comm, but he hasn't got much as backup. In fact, he hasn't got a unit remotely near him. He's got a single engineer back here, a scout and a couple of anti-air, but basically his comm is sitting around on his own. Alright, these guys down here are having a good time, and yeah, Numa needs to think about retreating in extremely fast fashion because he's got 2 comms in front of his face. But I think he'll be okay on that front. On the right hand side, more combat. And this time it's DTK versus Roman. They're having to go at each other, but I think this is going to go more in favour of Roman. He has a comm round about the same health, but Roman has a lot more units supporting. And he can kill things off pretty darn quickly just by pulling all of these in. And be able to wipe all that quite happily. Alright, Mochilo up here starts himself with some T2. He's going to get a bit of an upgrade, and we see here some team sharing being really nice. Azeroth has given over a couple of mixes to poor old Earth, who is just, well, he might as well not bother building units and just do nothing but eco, because he has virtually nothing. He needs the help. If you have a look, he's down on 17, the D10K is on 19. That doesn't. So he hasn't upgraded any mixes, but down here D10K needs to be a bit careful. His comm is rather surrounded by enemy units. He's got some reinforcements coming in, but those are the wrong shade of pink, they're not his. And Rowan is of course nearby having a good old plink at him, but I don't think Rowan's quite got the HP to really force this issue. He can hold the area if he so desires, which will give him this nice bit of reclaim to help bolster his numbers. Go a wee bit up on the ground, but he has a good solid 3k advantage over D10K, who really cannot afford to hang around. And that's going to be there. Back up this way though, we see a massive amount of units just having a good old time. They're pushing on Bratva and Mochilo, and they are not looking happy. This swarm is going to do some damage, plenty of anti-air in the mix, maybe a bit too much. Not going to get too much damage onto the ground game, but hey, it is what it is, and they're going to keep on moving on up and just claiming the area. We see Infinity is here being a happy boy. It's all well and good. Checking a bit of a scroll on that. Slightly static in the middle, not much going on. Got a few units pushing in from Mr. Karl Hoffman, and he's grabbing the sensors on his comm. He wants to see what's going on. In the meantime, Nightblood is here with his comm, just going to wander around and pick up some units, but it's all going on up here. Units have got themselves all the way towards the base, and I think they won't get much further though. We have units coming out of the structures here. Got ourselves, oh, I saw, no, that's just tank fire. T1 PD going down, and Mochilo trying to build a factory, question mark? Choice, but that's his choice to make. In the meantime, his base should be okay. He has finished the T1 PD and units are coming out, so he fine on there. Up here, Bratva is trying to plug down some more factories of his own. Really needs to get some more units up here to try and stop all of that. Okay, on the right hand side, well, that's still looking in the favour of Roman Morse, as long as his commander doesn't get caught out by units like that. He has a good serious number of his own, which should help hold that. I think we'll be okay. Over on the middle we have a bunch of forces from Geneva Convention and Nightblood just working together, and that means Numa has to be wee bit careful. Doesn't have a lot of backup around his comm, and he is hurt. And no upgrades on there. Checking up the top though, we see pushback is finally starting to happen. Units have thinned out. He's got a bunch of reclaim right on his doorstep, but back into his base, which is an issue. Right on the right hand side we see that's a bit of a push from units coming over there. We have Roman on an upgrade. He wants to get a bit of regen happening with his comp, because why not? It's fine in the middle though. Got a gun upgrade for Geneva. No support assistance on that. It's just going to gradually. Good morning, Buttsaber. Morning for you, that's fine. Evening for me, doesn't matter. Either way, it's all good. Radio Nightblood having a go. He's got T2 on his comm now, so he's got a bit of extra health, and he can always just stop and throw down a T1 PD really quickly. T2 is going down for Karl Hoffman. If he knew just how close his opponent was, might he change his mind? Well, no, here we have an Obsidian coming in. Still, and Triad being thrown down. Well, he started the Triad, but now he's on the move. Can't really stand still. There goes the Overcharge, and there goes the Obsidian. And is he doing what I think he's doing, which is starting the Triad with his commander and using engineers to finish off? Well, yes he is. Not a bad plan. Having Oblivion start up here for Karl. If that goes up first, it's going to be bad times for that right there. But let's just have a check on the rest of the map. Okay, static on the bottom right. Roman is holding, getting that narrow repair ever so closely. Gun been up for D10K. And down here, gun upgrade for Captain Numa. No assistance, and he's getting pushed by a lot of units. That's a problem. And I think unless he gets a lot of support really quickly, we're going to might see our first ejection over there. Things are static up here. Still got a bunch of units from Azeroth, and Ratva is doing his best. But down here, this is not looking good for Captain Numa. Surrounded by units. After that factory goes down, they're going to have nothing to shoot but him. And yeah, there we go. This is looking to be the first ejection. Completely surrounded down into the red, and we're going to say kaboom in 3, 2, 1. And Captain Numa caught out on an upgrade without enough units to support him, and he goes right down in the middle. Nightblood is getting swarmed by T1 bombers, and he's getting hit by the Oblivion, but I think he's going to manage to get away. We have some interceptors coming from his teammates to help him out, but he's running like a limb. Oof. Down is the red himself, 3,300 hit points. But the bombers have stopped. Note, there's more coming in still. And now he's got some T1 anti-air up just to help out, try and keep him a little bit alive. I think he's going to just need to drop back a bit further. And it's just a shame that Carl couldn't quite push and keep that momentum going. On the right hand side we hear, well, that's Rowan with a gun and nano upgrade, and that is Fiasco with just the gun upgrade, but D10K is in the area as well. So that is 2 comms down the bottom versus Rowan's one, who is quite damaged. She's walking in a straight line and taking a whole smashing of T1 Ardy. The health just completely evaporates off that comm. You walk in a straight line with T1 Ardy, you get absolutely destroyed, and he is in serious trouble right now. He is going to want to get out of there as soon as humanly possible, else he's going to get caught by a commander or two and he will be done for. Gets a rank in veterancy, which helps a huge deal, but he's going to run. No way can he hang around where he is. He does have the gun and nano, which is a huge help, and if he can get another couple of ranks in veterancy, he'll be a happy-go-lucky. But right now, he has to fall back and fall back hard. Units are running up for Team 1 though up here, so Fiasco is having issues. D10K is looking so great. Some bombers are coming over. They're going to throw their bombs down, and D10K has to sort of dodge around a bit. Rowan is looking a little bit healthier. The regen has absolutely helped. Just have a quick look at the rest of the map. We'll got a fracas going on in the middle here, some units having to go to each other. We've got a Little Red 4 base been set up by Carl Hoffman. He should be okay there for now, but down here is where it's at. And we see Rowan has pushed back up with his comm, whilst the bombers have tickled D10K into falling back, because he's kind of going to have to. You have some inties popping in from Matthew Paris. They're not going to get much done. They do kill off the bombers, so that's all good in there, but Rowan is needing to be careful. There are 2 gun comms in the region, and I don't care. Oof. Gonna have to be real careful, killing off units as he goes, needing to drop back again, because in comes Fiasco, in comes D10K, and in comes the units from D10K. It is a 2v1 on the right, and Rowan is given a really good account of himself. He's not doing bad at all, but it is a bit of a mission with 2v1. Check out the rest of the map. While up here has very firmly belongs to Team 2, even though Go, Azeroth and Infinity having a great time keeping things there. We have a gun upgrade going down from Mochalo, so he's wanting to turn his command into something nasty, but this gap here is proving a little bit vital. We see Geneva Convention has stealth and gun. He's going to wander up and do some things, but down here, how are we doing? Well, another rank of veterancy for Rowan. He now has got 11,000 hit points, and he is doing pretty well for himself. D10K needs to be careful. He's wandered into range of T1 PD, and with Rowan here, there is going to be some issues should he hang around, but Stinger waltzes on in and probably dies. So yeah, that was a curious choice. Stinger decides, yeah, I'm going to say hello, and then says hello to a bunch of interceptors, and goodbye Stinger. Right, Rowan has to divert his comm over here to kill off a bunch of T2 units. Unfortunate, because he was getting some good work done on DTNK, who maybe pushed just a little bit too far. Down to 4,500 health. Rowan at 9,000, Fiasco at 12.5. And these T2 units are probably going to be the difference. So having said that, once they go down... I hear Ushivas. I knew I could hear the Ushis. Here they are. And they're going to help tip the balance very, very happily. Some T1 Ardy getting caught out by a couple of commanders. Some shells lobbed down onto Fiasco. He's going to shed a little bit of health down under 10k for himself. And DTK at 4.5. And Roman's still doing good work with his comm. He's having some fun. Quickly check the rest of the map. Make sure nothing else is going on. Well, no, Bistatic up here. Bistatic in the middle. We've got forward base versus forward base. That'll be quite a same thing. And up here we see DTNK has issues. He's down under 2,000. Roman is pushing up quite healthy and happy on 5.5. And here he goes down. That is going to be him out of the game. DTNK just a little bit reckless with his comm push there. He dies off. And Rowan has got himself 7,000 hit points. He's fine. Fiasco has to fall back as well, and now it's just unit on unit, and that leaves Rowan available to clean things up. But this is an air snipe. We are seeing Corsairs. Rowan, Corsairs? Yes, no, Nothers going to have to dodge. That is a lot of Nothers. Make with the movement, my friends. Oh, down onto the red, 2,000 hit points. He survives, and these all the Nothers bar one. Can he dodge? Or he's 900 health, sub 1,000, but the Notha is down. He should be okay. We have another one coming in. Will it be taken out or will it take him out? Well, he's ripped up some health. He will be alright. I think 500 health. The Notha survives and gets away. Air is coming in. But look at that nano regen. Look at him go all the way back up, and he'll be fine once again, even if the bomb connects, which it does. 200 health, very close. But he's actually going to get out of this alive. Very close, very lucky, and that is a bit of a fabber. Oh no. Another Notha and a Strat. We're about to see Rowan bite the big one. Can't stop that. Kaboom. Fought so hard on the right hand corner down there. Longest time was 2v1. He managed to take out one of his opponents, but then a third person comes over there and a fourth person. So it took 4 opponents to defeat Rowan. He's going to be proud of that. Anyway, up on this side we have T2 Ardy has been put up. That's going to be a problem. It's going to be very annoying because that is well in range of the entirety of Modular's base. And they are just going to start causing massive problems as long as they can keep this at bay, which they should be able to because they've got Ushivas. But it has left this bottom corner wide open. There are a few units here from Carl helping out, and that Strat is still around though. Got itself 16 kills, done a lot of damage, killed a whole bunch of build power just there. Another factory, killed some penis. I thought he had some swift ones. Well, he does. Why have they not focused down that Strat? They'll afford to lose eco, but that's what has happened now. Earth needs to expand and claim out Roman's base and do some stuff. Up here, that is Ravager Fire. So we have T3 from Nightblood, and he's just going to cause issues in the mid there. Slowly wear those shields down. It won't be too long before they have saying sayonara. And up here, though, we see more T2 Ardy. So that's a bit of fun from old Mr. Infinity and Azeroth. Actually, they're both in the T2 Ardy game up here just to be extra annoying, and those shells are just going to get enough of them and they'll crack anything. But this is a problem in the middle for Carl Hoffman. He's trying to push out, and he is 2v1 in the mid now. He's got the Geneva Convention popping up some point defense of his own. Oh, excuse me, hiccups. Dear oh dear. Fighting off against that, but this is the main problem. It is T3. Ravager Fire from Nightblood. It's going to bring this shield down, and that'll be all she wrote. Units are pushing down through the gap here, but they're going to be picked up and they'll be fine. You're going to need more T2 Ardy. A whole lot more than that. And why not? That is mobile missile launchers as well, so to add insult to injury, mobile missile launchers are coming out to just do that extra damage. There are some buzzkills in the region, but not enough to stop the missiles that are coming, and of course buzzkills can do absolutely nothing against T2ID. So there we go, and that's a lot of T2ID. They walk into range of, well, roll into range of T2 point defense. Gonna have a bad time. Two of them dead, and there'll be a third one soon, but the shield goes down. The shield's still alive. The question is what's going to go down next. Just have a quick glance at the rest of the map, and there we go, the push down the side from Fiasco. Nothing stopping him. Absolutely nothing down there to stop that push, and the mid is all but gone for Carl, so he needs to be careful. He's well behind, and despite the units pouring in, he could probably break this if it wasn't for the fact he's getting hit from the side by Nightblood. Up the top here, we have more shields going up, we have more artillery going up. Fun fact, artillery versus shields, artillery wins every time. Why? Because shields can't shoot back. And yeah, keep building and keep shooting. And you throw in some mobile missile launchers into the mix, and it's just going to be an absolutely terrible time. We see one shield gen go down, we see more shells lobbing over, we see a whole lot of them. And the Seraphim shields all know they're going to have a really bad time with that many mobile missile launchers and T2ID lobbing down at you. In the middle, and we see Carl Hoffman. Well, he's been caught out, and that's a lot of T2 units surrounding him. He's taken a lot of damage, and he doesn't have any kind of gun upgrade, so he's firing slowly. Does he even have overcharge? Well, yes he does. He should be using it. I don't know why he's not. He's a full energy bar, but he's going to have to drop right back and start rebuilding a different forward base. On the bottom, this is a push coming in from Fiasco, but up here, what is left of Mochulo's base? Well, not much. Last shield has gone down, and everything is open to getting absolutely slaughtered now. Try and put up another shield gen is there, but energy goes down. That's not looking great. That's not looking great at all. Missiles are flying everywhere. We have TMD trying to do their best. Archie shells are landing. That shield had almost regen. Shield gen goes down there, down there. Now there's just one left. About to clink back on, so it should help a little bit. But it's just too much RD to stop that. And throwing in the mobile missile launchers. Top side's not having a great time. And there's Mochulo walking forward with his comm, so he's actually given up his base. He's got shield on his comm, and he's just going for a wander because why not? He's decided that's it, that's all I can do. And he's not terribly wrong. His base is absolutely under bombardment. There's nothing he can do on that. Okay, all the shells come in. Some T1 units are rocking on up. They're going to give the mobile missile launchers a bad time. They're busy focusing on something else further away, and it's Zui's actually, so yeah, these guys are going to go down shortly, except for the supporting strikers, which will help a huge deal. Maybe lose one or two of these guys, but then they get absolutely cleaned up. Right, they've seen him, he's been pinged, and he is... Why, he's got no air with him? What's that? I see a Thota, although it's going up very, very slowly. As far as your Thotas go, that is quite the slow one. So maybe he needs to think about something else on the bottom here. Well, we've got Harbingers are out, so we do have T3 land for Mr. Carl Hoffman, and he's going to need those to be mobile, and to try and survive against all this, they do hold the units off long enough for some triads to be thrown up, and that's going to be absolutely critical to the survival of everything else. Harbingers are outranged by Mongoose, would you believe it? Either that or his attention was elsewhere, but either way, those triads plus Harveys are going to help them survive that push there. But we have another push down the middle. Got a loyalist here with a bunch of T2 units following behind. That's going to be an issue. Engineers scavenging from Nightblood, they're having a good go, but right now this is the story of the day. Mochulo wandering up with his commander, and there's nothing really to stop him. Mochulo says, my base is overrun. Or what base? Bradford needs to be careful. He is in range of, well, absolutely everything, and if he takes a bunch of these, we could see him go down. Look at his health just fading off right there. Is he even paying attention? I don't know if he is, but the T2RT should focus down on him. A few shells from that and he will be an absolute dead man. I don't know what they're firing at there, but they really killed that bit of ground. But else down here we see that is a dangerous commander, 4 stars. Shield gun com with T2, 20k HP basically, and going to have himself a really good time sitting around here. Start shooting down the point defense for... Does he even have overcharge? Because he's got nothing left. Well, he does, but he needs E. He needs E so he can overcharge. He doesn't have a lot of income of his own, so he's going to be relying on his teammates and air. But T3 slowly building a broadsword, but you know, anything would be good. Anything to start doing damage to him. He's standing still though. It's a curious decision, just standing in the face. Ah, he's going for the PGN. That would be a good kill. But shield is about to run out and we're going to see his health start depleting at a great rate. There we go. Now standing in T2 PD range, T1 PD range, you can't really hang around there. T3 unit is one to line up because of lightning tanks and he's down to yellow very quickly. He's lost half his health already. And where was that broadsword done? Send it over. Send the broadsword on there. No. Come kill him. Although he's down to the red, I don't think he's going to last too much longer. Although if he overcharges... Oh, the siege tank survives. That's a new one. They definitely need help just finishing him off. You don't want to let him get away and rip back up and be safe again. There's the broadsword redirected. That should be enough to finish him off. Push coming through the gap here. There we go. Watchdog says bye-bye. Mercies. I saw those. Just a few mercies to finish him off. That was well taken, and yeah, well, there's nothing left of his base, so that's all going to go pop in a second. It's a generous hold up here, which is now firing down this way. That's not a bad plan. How far can I reach is the question. Not far enough, I don't think. No, not far enough at all. Is that a snipe attempt? A lot of Nothers, they're going for infinity, but by the time they fly over all that flak and T1 ground fire, they're going to do fuck all damage. Single bomb. That's just great. But in the middle we see that Nightblood has a very good hold. He's got a bunch of Ravagers, that's 5 in total I think. Yep, got some T2R, got some shields up, and very defensive, and that there has 27 kills. So T2 tech, T2, of course it's T2. You don't have any other kind of tank launcher. Either way, that tank launcher has had a great time with killing off as much as it can. See here, Hoffman is hiding in the water with his gun because it's not strong enough to do, well, anything really. And he is now getting pushed by Bricks, Loyalists, Black Bouncers, the whole works. Bangers, give them their name, they're a banger. And that's a horde of T3 units. That Yathota is still going up really slowly. Well, it's only T1 engineers helping it, so I'm guessing he's trying to rebuild his eco. Maybe he's been having issues because of that tech launcher. 27 kills, 12.3k mass gone, and these guys are very much about to wander into poor old Hoffman's base. Might as well get his comm involved. If he's got overcharge, he can do something. Can pop out of the water, do a bit of damage, which he does. So why not come out of the water, do an overcharge, just in and out, plonk, plonk, plonk. Get in there and see what you can do. Got some Harbingers trying to do their best, but their best ain't going to really do a heck of a lot when there's that much around you. Siege tank trying to defend against that. Oh, they'll do alright. They've got some T2 PD backup and some T1 PD now as well, so that'll help shrivel things out. And as long as the siege tanks just keep dodging a little bit, does come out as well to help out. Can focus on the bangers, but they're massive air wing from Paris in the region, so they don't actually last very long at all. And yeah, that's not good news. T1RD up here is having a great time knocking off T3 units. There's so many of them that these T3 units have stopped to shoot, and that is a terrible idea. Going to eat Zooey fire all day doing that. Up here, these guys having a grand old time. Moving on around, and Azeroth comes along with his comp. Well, it is a gun nanocomp, so he should be okay. Against all that, he's got overcharge as well. We just saw that, but that chicken is not having a good time. In fact, it's now being primary. They want to kill it before it can be completed. and strats out from Paris. And Azeroth drops down under half health just like that. One pass and the bricks and resistance mean it's a bad idea. But the strats have just come into contact with the air wing from Deinonychus. Move the arse for a couple of rounds. They get some more bombs off, and Azeroth 2000 health, and I think he's goner. The bricks in range. Nice overcharge. Gets a rank of veneracy, and he survives just a little bit longer. Now there's Nothers overhead, and he is struggling. Brick is going to die. He'll be alright from that, but will the Nothers get the kill? Plays a bit of dodgems. Is he gonna get away? No, he's not. 1700 health. He's got no anti-air in the area. So having said that, there is some bangers. Are they going to be able to save him? Can he dodge? Questions. Yes, he can. Great dodge there. No damage taken whatsoever. And if he can run towards the shield, or the shield can move towards him, he'll be safe. Having said that, no bomb from that guy. Does take one bomb from there, but now he's got a shield up. He can reside under that and be much happier. On the right hand side, this has been great work from Earth. He's pushed right back up here. Managed to hold, and not only hold but push back as well. However, he's run into a very solid defensive line there from Fiasco. Plenty of point defense, plenty of shields, plenty of units in the mix, but this is a solid T2 band from Earth, and if you can take out some of the stuff, you'll be quite a happy boy. But not enough here to kill the commander, but enough to just be a bit. Mercies was the call from somewhere. Somebody said there was mercies. I don't see them. It's okay. Alright, but now we have Nightblood Pusher Boy. He's got himself a Ravager up. He's got a T2 shield gen. He's got a almost a Sam launcher. There we go, finishing it off. Okay, cool. So he's got some anti-air. He'll be okay. Bird up here we see it is now T2 Adibor. Bradford is trying to push on back with his own. T280 down here from Nightblood as well. So it I think that is pretty much a, we'll just leave it and see how long it lasts position, especially as it's only under one shield, which is about to go down, and when it does, this is all going to be threatened into doom. Alright, ideas, and a in danger T3 PGen. It is not under shields. This might help a lot if it goes up, could save it. Taking damage from the Ravager is just about there. Enough, it is enough. It's going to survive a bit longer. A counter Ravager from Mr. Infinity, so he's got his own Ravagers up. He's going to have a go at shooting back at this. And there's T3 Arty, Mobile Arty it looks like. There it is. Siphonas lobbing their shells over. They're going to help take down the shields as well. Add to that a couple of Harbingers, and that's a bit of danger for Nightblade. He does have shield, he does have overcharge, but to that, all the rest of it, that lands on the shield gen. That'd be great target for them to take out. Kill the shields, and got their counter push on the bottom side from Fiasco. So after holding off Earth's push on there, he has decided, you know what, that must have been all your units. I am going to do that. Going to get away. Go the Ravagers. Oh, the shield goes down. It was just about to blink back on. That is rotten luck. And now we have units pushing in from Geneva as well. So Bricks Loyalists, here they come. Air is overhead, and Azeroth isn't entirely healthy, and that Yathota, which must have been close. That's the build there. It's like 95% done. I hear strats, and that's stress on Infinity. Airwing from Deinonychus is around. Infinity does take some damage, and now there's a bit of an air fight, but I think that's going to go better for... I thought it would go better for Deinonychus because it's friendly territory, but there is Sam's back here, and now the bricks are just unleashing into everything. Azeroth needs to be careful because, well, bricks. And now he's got some issues, has to fall back, cannot hang around there. That's too many bricks, he would die a horrible death if he decided to hang around. But here, what was that? That was Hoffman, and has he actually gone out by control? Okay, kind of looks like there wasn't much left of his base. Nothing but power. all the way back over there. I don't know if that was a Control K or if that was actually him dying. No, well, he was in the water, so I'm going to say that was a Control K. A true Control K, and he is a goner. On the right hand side, got a brave front up here, got triads up the wazoo trying to help things out. And they're going to do a lot of damage to all these units that are floating around. Ravager behind, trying to mow things down as well. But look at all the fire coming from the mongoose. Those are nasty little things. But there's not a lot left. Got a Percival back here. That's going to be a huge help. But now, looks like it's going to hold. Especially if you primaries down those mongoose, because they do most of the damage. Pillars are there, of course, but yeah, knock them out. That'll be fine. But T2 mobile missile launchers do have a single. Actually, if they stray into range of Ravager fire, they'll do have a horrible time. But more units coming from this side as well. So while there's a great firing line here, just have change attack and coming from this angle instead, which, while still within range, it's not going to be a great time. Over here we see Azeros is popping up another shield. His base has issues from Ravager creep. Nightblood doing his thing and popping down a bunch of T2IDs, so he's going to have a really fun time. He's done well for himself, got a very solid hold here, and these T2ID are having a whale upon this base over here, but these ones are going to survive. Shells are inbound, down goes the shield, and they are now unprotected. Doomed. Right, up here we see this lot. Zooey problems, so pushing on in, there's a single Ravager, there's a Triad, and there's actually not enough ground PD to slow these down enough before they can get range and do a serious amount of damage. So I think we're going to see this might be the downfall of this base, especially if the shield gen goes. That goes, then there's going to be problems. Time now, there it is, it's gone, so that'll be the end of that. Okay. Down here we see Azeros is trying to do his best with the units that are knocking his base over. Not much else he can really do at this stage. He has virtually nothing left. All his eco is up here and his eco just got rushed. It's going to be the end of this little wee arsey base because they can't really shoot these guys. Been too close. And Earth has done a number here. He's managed to hold on between the amount of point defense he has and the units he has spat out. Hold and actually just push back Fiasco a little bit. Now he has a whole bunch of reclaim on his doorstep he can grab to build whatever he wants. Alrighty, let's have a look down here. Shield just about gone, Ravagers are up, but of course Ravagers ain't going to help against T2ID, and that's a massive T2ID bank from Nightblood. I think all of his eco is going to that. Indeed it is, he has like no ground units. So all of his eco is actually focusing on building this stuff. There's a upgrade on the shield gen as well. That's going to pop into T3 and be even tougher to break. There are some Ravagers firing upwards, but T2ID is the issue, not anything else. And Azeros is deciding to T2ID of his own, but base is kind of under attack. Well, sorry, I take that back. Infinity's base is under attack, so no. That's awful times. Massive air wing here from Deinonychus, so he's done okay for himself. I think he's got more ASF than Paris, but Paris also has some strats, so he's looking to maybe knock that off. Broadsword's going to be able to murder these pillars quite happily with impunity. No dramas there, although Azeros comes over anyway and just assists with that. Dead pillar. Up here, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 T2ID. Why not 8? Make it a nice round 8. Come on, you're missing a gap. But they're going to cause bad times down here. Shells are just going to absolutely rain down. And there's really not a lot they can do about that. Well, that's a fat boy. A bold idea, I guess. I mean, if you finish the fat boy, I'm not sure what you could do with it. Try and wander close to this, you get murdered by T2ID, and of course there's some Ravagers as well if you decide to get even closer. On the right hand side we see Earth is pushing out again. He's now facing a 2v1 on the right because Mr. Geneva Convention has built a line of factories and is popping out Eoldi Medusas. However, Titans are great for Medusas. They don't get stunned because they're T3 and their fast fire rate will just absolutely demolish those things. Alright, let's have a look, see what are we doing. We are losing stuff. Did I stop on that? Yes, it was. Not a lot going on. We see Azeroth is, well, he's finished one T2, he's doing another couple. I guess it's all he can do right at this moment. He's using all the eco from this base before it's all gone. Because all gone it will be soon. Those are bricks. Those are Ultravas and these are T1 units. They're horrible. Okay, let's have a check on the air game because they've been kind of quiet recently. We have just under 50 ASF for Mr. Paris. After we switched over to Deinonychus, he has 60, so air advantage to Deinonychus. He does have a strat and a few restorers, which also help the deal. But we check the strats for Paris. 7 strats for Paris, so he is looking to try and kill somebody with those. Down here we see Fiasco had decided to walk away from all of this, but didn't need to worry. Those units aren't getting through his shields, his PD and his units all at the same time, so they are doomed. And now there's a sizable force ready to try and push on back. Yes, there's PD back here, no shields though. These guys are out here kind of isolated all by themselves. We have a fat boy just about done though, my word. He has been a busy little beaver. Got himself a fat boy, he's going to have a great time with that. Up here we see Azeroth is ready to try and kill things, but his shield goes down. That was obviously planned directly by Nightblood. Just wanted to get rid of those, and of course we now have the T2RDs free to back. Right, where is the fat boy going to go? Well, it's going to need some support. It has been pinged, so it's been spotted. I'm going to guess that ping was from these guys. See air movement, or we see strats. What are they going for? Probably for Azeroth. There they go. 1, 2. Bombs away. But then they fly over Sams and die. We have more strats coming in. I'll survive that quite easily. Oh, they're going for... No. It's the units they're going for the RD. And T1 bombers. Well, that's like... not going to get a lot done. It's fairly tanky comp. Going to need a whole bunch more than that. And of course he's got his own ASF flying over top. But down here, fat boy. Enough mercies? Well, no. Yes and no. Throw the strats in first to get the distraction going on. Have the air follow the strats and have the mercies follow them in. I think he has enough. Do the strats to take that out. Follow him with the mercies and even the restorers throw everything at him. Stop that out. Fat boy down here is going to have a good time, except it won't have a good time against strats, which are coming in. Oh dear. What is the air doing? Well, not a lot. Here we go. Are they going to be seen? Are the mercies going to make it? Air has been distracted with an air wall right there. Strats are blowing on out, but T2 flak, and look at the mercies just die. I don't think even one mercy got to pop there. That flak was popped up in the nick of time. So much build power, and that just basically saved his bacon. But now we have stress going down on Earth. He's lost his fat boy to them. Now he's going to lose his life to the rest of them. And the air wing from Deinonychus is in the wrong place. And there goes Earth. So Earth is taken out by Paros right after his fat boy died. It's stressed over it straight for him while the air was distracted even just that close. And that is the end of Earth, and I think we're going to see a capitulation. There we go, Infinity Control Case himself out of the game. There's not a lot left to do at this stage. Still building mercies, well, I don't know, but why not? Got nothing else to build, might as well. Rainbowcom is wandering on up, and Deinonychus Control Case himself out as well. Azeroth yells out, 1v1 me. Hey Rowie, how are we doing tonight, my friend? You have yourself a good midweek and you're not too busy. We're going to ignore that. Doesn't really matter at this stage. That is pretty much won. So he's going for advanced nano repair on no eco. It's only going to take him 197 minutes to complete. Basic eco. Nice if somebody could experience on me, but they can't. Rambocom coming on up. It'd be nice if they'd lead in 1v1. Geneva started the... Oh, come on. Really? Really? Be nice. Don't do that. And Strats coming over. Everybody's all greedy for the kill. There is a Rambocom here, which has got a lot of regen actually, and look at the health. Despite being fired at by a comb, it's not losing. The regen is amazing. That's amazing. Very rude. What is that comm made of? Support Commander, let's see what upgrades it's got. So we have the, well, Nano. Really, is that it? Just Nano? Yeah, that's a tough comm. Yeah, Nano Repair, EMP Boost. Red. Well, that's interesting. That was a lot of regen, considering it's been fired on. Ah, uni work. Good old university. Long time since I've been there. Anyway. Having said that, that is our first game for tonight. So some good plays here, some mistakes were made. Very unfortunate, I feel like. If they had managed to get the Bombers and Mercies onto Nightblood before he got the flak up, he would have been an absolutely dead man, and that very likely would have swapped the game around. They had have had the gunships overhead, perhaps they would have been focused on by the arty as well. But look at this. 8 kills with that. All those Mercies dead. 7, 4, 8. So 8 and 8, 16, 20, 31 Mercies. Oh dear. Dear, oh dear. A productive half day is great. And of course uni is important while you're there. Most people. Wasn't for me. But yep. Anyway, oh, there's the beam T1 bombers. Because why not? Still, that's our first game of the night. Bit of fun. Rice Fox, good evening my friend. How you doing? Nice to see you. And we can see an attempt was made. But convincing win by a team 1 up the top in the end. And that is going to be the end of that. Okie dokie. Next cast. That was just the first replay. I am moving on to the next one. Post the first new video to the FAF YouTube. Wow. Over a year. Wow. It's a long one. Now then. I'm just going to jump straight into the next cast I've got because I just simply will do it. We're going to let this roll on up and just go. So this is a 5 versus 5 support for 2v2 leaderboard. How is the 2v2 rankings going? I feel like maybe it's died off a bit. Like it was novel for a while, but people have stopped. Anyway, Selkie Isle. This was a new map a while ago, and people played it a fair bit when it first came out, but not so much anymore. Anyway, Team 1 up here at the top. Yes, Team 1 top, sorry, I couldn't even see the other player in the middle there. Team 2 down here at the bottom. Let's go for introductions. First up, on the middle island, it is Konorak. He's Aeon, he's yellow, he's opening first land, and he's having go. On the left-hand side, it is Roslando. He's grey, he's Cybran, and he's opening himself first land as well. Beside him at the back is another Cybran. It is Lord Tomato. And Lord Tomato is here, first land, light blue. Over here, another Cybran. And it is Hacken. He is gone Brightwing opening first air. And to finish off for team number 1, it is Geo338, just going to be known as Geo from now on, and he's Cybran again. So that's a very heavy Cybran team there, 4 Cybran players, 1 Aeon player for team number 2. Anyway, he's combat green, and he's got himself his land. Check it out for team number 2. Their opponents today, down here we have McNeil. He's blue, and he's Aeon as well, so a nice colour mirror there. We have blue and yellow, very much opposites on the spectrum. Down here we have Iconics. Iconics is Seraphim, and he is going brown today. Beside him, it is Mr. Where's his com? Well, his com's here actually. It is Norichi. Oh, Norochi? Norochi. Yep, so Norochi is Cybran, he's purple, and he's actually walking his com to the island. So he's going to jump on here and give some support to his teammate there. Back here, it is Lee Madden, and La Madden, sorry, it's not Lee, it's La, because that looks very French. La Madden. La Madden? Anyway, he's Aeon, he's white, and there's his land factory followed by an air factory planned. Here finally for team number 2, it is Front Collar, not Front Killer, Front Collar. Seraphim, and he is bright red. So there we go, folks. So Selkie Isle, we have reclaim all around the place, some nice big things over there. In the middle we have a whole bunch of units defended by some T1 civilian stuff. I remember when it first came out, but 2015, son of a bitch. That's how long I've been playing Forged Alliance on and off. Actually, it's been longer, but you know. But I do remember when this map first turned up. I absolutely do, because it was everyone was like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And it was fun. It was a nice new map. It's a good map, nice balance. You've got a good navy amount that you have to worry about. You've got the middle island to try and claim. And of course, there's been variations, you know, different spawns and stuff like that. But it's a fun little map. But navy is incredibly important. Keen to play the campaign through FEF for now to get up to speed. Well, yes, that can be a thing. Could have been of a run by attempt over here. Got some bots out for McNeil, but they're going to run into a couple of other flares. It's going to be a pretty even trade, but there's an Aurora behind that'll help clean that up. You can play the campaign through FEF. There is capability to do that, but you just might need to know which order everything's in, that's all. Here, the little bits of micro here are actually going to pay dividends, and the spirit gets killed. Look, 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 look. The spirit has a kill. The spirit got a kill. That's amazing. It does like 1 damage. 2 damage? It got a kill. That's just amazing. Never seen that before. No rank and veterancy, unfortunately. Nonetheless, just wow. Alrighty. Checking out here though, we have had Engineer rock up and steal the reclaim over there. The exact same thing happened with an Engineer here. He's finishing off that wreck, and he's going to be on his merry way. Or the commander's just going to stop and pick up a mass extractor, all well and good. Up here we have an early T2 upgrade going from McNeil, so he's wanting to get a hold of that, and we see Norochi is following up his commander to give some support. However, sitting firmly in his base is Hacken, so he is not bringing his comm over to help out his teammate, and these rocks, you kind of want to reclaim those. Alright, wandering into range of the civilian PD is poor Neil, just throwing away some units here. They didn't deserve to die, but whether they deserved it or not, they are dead. Sorry for them. Alright, some scouts overhead, and who's in the navy game? Well, there we go, we have an early factory from Mr. Front Collar. He's thrown out a few units, and we have factory here for Vasilando, though not units just yet, and those are the only navy factories in. Bomber overhead from... oh, focus there. Don't hover bomb. Just trying to be clever with the hover bomb, but he's not getting anything. With the, if he can get one more bomb away, he will do some great damage. But it's just flopping around in circles. Yeah, he's trying to be too clever with the hover bomb. Just let your bomber do its thing. There it goes, and that is 5 pigeons down. So not a bad little haul. He's got 7 kills so far. Probably picked up some NGs. Speaking of NGs, kill this clump. You're going to have a great time. And there's a bomb away, 4 engineers, 11 kills for that guy. That's a very happy bomber. Getting shoot away though by a Thistle, not much you can do against that, but still. 11 kills is a great time. Pick up another one. Nice round, even 12. Good little bomber. T2 almost done for McNeil though. And gonna cause issues for poor old Konarak. He's definitely trying against the runner play here. 2 versus 1. Drop a bomb, run into a Thistle, and probably gonna die. She's an intercept around as well, so there he goes. Would have been great to come up here and kill off this guy with the radar. But as it is, gets his final bomb away. Not going to get the kill on that mass extractor. Lands on it though. Does some damage. Yep. Roby knows a lot about FAF. And involved in quite some time, and he's really good. Is that a drop? No, it's just a jester. Gonna knock off a mass extractor, but no, not even going to do that. Isn't going to finish a mass extractor and dies a horrible death to T1AA, which just happened to be in there, so good anticipation from Iconics, and that keeps that alive. Up here we see Konarak is wandering up with his comm, going to kill some things off. I'm surprised. Flares over 100 health, so that's not surprising anymore. T2PD been built, and that is probably going to be his cue to move away. Can't really stand there taking that to the face for very long. Torpedo upgrade for Roslando, so he's wanted to get his common and straight to T2 on his factory, not even building a single unit. Whereas down here we see the T1 unit spam has very much started for front collar. However, should this get done, that is going to be a very, very tough commander to try and deal with T1 units. See, was that a drop attempt? Yeah, I don't know where it's going now. It seemed like it was going to go. It could have carried on. Maybe even dropped itself up here. Is there space for factories? It's all angled. Might be a bit too angled to put factories up there. It would have been interesting. By the way, Torpedo really wants to finish that off. T2 down here for Lord Tomato. And on the islands, even though it's just his commander around, no, I say just, now he's putting down a factory. And we're probably about to see all this reclaim go in the favour of Team 2. That's not going to be good. Up here, Konarak is trying to do his thing, but his thing is being hampered by 2v1. Got a bunch of units on the left-hand side, which could face off against these guys, but not get a lot done. There are more units here for McNeil. This band is got to be careful. They're going to have a horrible time. Let's check it out. Units here not gone anywhere. T2 coming out. Torpedo is done for Roslando. That's now a very dangerous commander in the water. Over here we have T2 going up for Geo. It's chilling. So not much happening for these guys at the back. A little bit of naval play going on. Got some subs out there. And of course that comm will just be able to kill these things off really easily. Warriors, but most of the action is on the middle. We see this force did get wiped out indeed. Far superior numbers for McNeil taking care of that. On the right hand side, similar thing going on. We have some numbers, but yeah, not looking good. Poor Konarak in the middle lane. He is the highest rated player. He's up against McNeil. So even ratings against those guys. And we forgot to speak about the ratings, but it is all Joe's. Lowest rated is 10,000 for, sorry, 1,000. 10,000. Man, 10,000. Imagine 10,000 rated player. That'd be amazing. Anyway, he's 1,000 rated and the highest is 1,400. The balance is pretty good. 93%. 12-20 average for both teams. That is quite a good balance. But yeah. And look, you're always welcome to drop in and ask questions. I might just be a bit slow with answering them because I'm usually focused on action in the middle. And speaking of action, there's a lot of units on the left. Can this engineer get the reclaim? Well, I think he can because these guys are just out of range. I mean, they are hover. They could just wander around and kill them, but you know. And that's a massive band going against a much smaller band. They're going to need to drop back, otherwise they're going to get absolutely overwhelmed. If they do drop back, they might be okay with being able to filter out numbers and McNeil positions. Alrighty. Dear oh dear. I still worry. There's still a large band of units and there's still 2 versus 1. Especially that Norochi has a factory up and a shield is going up as well. So I think he's just assisting. Konarak is calling for some help on the island. He is versus 2 people and he's gonna need it. Absolutely gonna need it. Geo says be there soon. And yeah, he might be. Looks like he's planning up some navy, getting some hives down. That's going to help his build power. He'll be able to throw down a factory and start spitting out units, but he's a little bit behind. Say factory up, and he's starting to pop out some units. Do we see more T1, or we see shift to T2? Well, no, just some more T1, because why not? It's a strat. Flying overhead, that's a strat. From front collar, 10 minutes in, and he has lobbed a strat bomber out. Wants no, we're only 50% upgraded there, so this is going to have a lot of fun. Go. Lacey Bears, how many kills is that strat bomber going to get? Not flying straight over a bunch of T1 inties ain't going to help, but he's knocked out one. T2 max. Ha ha ha. Who's next bomb going? It's away. 2 T2 mixes. Ha ha ha. Knocks a bunch of PGs out as well. Now he has 7 kills. Okay, we do have fights going on in the middle, so we've got to try and keep an eye on that as well. If Conor can just hold on, he might be okay. Strat bomber throws out another bomb, and the impacts on a shield. Fail. I think he got that mix there, so there's a bunch of those. He wants to keep flying in a straight line, so pro tip, T3 strat bomber flies faster than T1 inties. As long as you don't get caught on a bad turn, if you can keep going in a mostly straight line, you will continue to outrun them and they will chase you all day and never catch. There's another bomb out and boom. Curious drop placement. If you put it in the middle, he might be able to actually get 2 of them at once. I'm not sure how far apart they are or whether that'll work or not, but there's another bomb out. So definitely done its worth and cost there. There's another bomb. Whee! Shield goes not on in time, and in fact the shield dies. There's some extra fire, but it is okay. 18 kills on that bomber now. Grand old time. Does execute a poor turn, gets caught by the inties, but there is some supporting air from another bomb away, another T2 mix down. Where's some ASS that we're chasing up, so they're going to maybe clean up these inties. In fact they are. It's going to give that bomber a bit longer to survive, and away it goes. Another bomb away. That's a lot of damage. What are we up to? 9.6k, 28 kills. Now, earlier on, I did see that Team 1 were actually ahead in eco. Then this happened, and now they're not. Static in the middle there. This bomb is having a great time. Has been caught by an ASF, though. That's going to be the end of him. 28 kills. Plus 4, 32 kills. 32 kills for that guy, and he's done a huge amount of damage. Down here we can see that Geo is under fire, throwing out some Corsairs to point defense. He's got a T2 launcher which should help. Just going to keep repairing that, going to keep it alive. It'll clean up those units, then you can finish off the factory, grab it up to T2, grab the extra build power onto that. Should be okay. Down here we see T2 Navy has already been completed for Iconics. He's popped out a cruiser. Corsair from cruiser with those strap missiles can clean up all of this, which will be a massive pain for poor Mr. Geo. Alright, try to upgrade the factory while he's got Navy incoming. We'll see how that works out from. Speaking of Navy, T2 down here for front collar, and he's got the same thing. He's got some cruisers out and they are lobbing missiles all the way over. But available from Roslando, and of course he does have that torpedo com to make extra damage. And off they go. A couple of Salems already on the field, and they will... There is a... There's a destroyer, but I think as long as he marks he's okay, doesn't get too close. Actually, can I even see that? Oh no, they can't. They need radar to see what they're doing. Radar, so no, they desperately need to be able to see what they're shooting at. Because he has gone in blind. Not aware in the slightest. And he's actually going to lose that. T1 frigates, 2 destroyers there, and the cruiser overhead. I'm going to say goodbye to this guy. As he tries to run away at a very fast rate, but too slow. Spoiler alert. Salems can't shoot backwards. If you choose to run away with Salems, they cannot shoot backwards, and so they will just simply die. Up here, torpedo upgrade on the way for Geo. He's gonna need it if he's gonna. Of course, do you have the T2 launcher back here? Well, there's some arguments for that. Some of the stronger Navy. Every faction has their strengths and weaknesses. This is true. Aeon is considered one of the strongest in the air because they have very possibly the strongest air fighters, but then you can say Cybern's good because their air has stealth. Turn on stealth and it's not picked up by radar. You'll only be able to see it if you have it within range of Omni. And the same thing with Cybern Navy. You see they have stealth ships. You can hide your forces under this thing and it can't be seen unless you have Omni. And of course you can't build Omni in the Navy. No, it's alright. I get what you mean. But yeah. So Cybern with their stealth is really annoying. You basically have to constantly scout to see what you're going up against, and we have a bit of a pushback going on here. Some T1 units are valiantly trying to take down destroyers. That's a bad idea. There's a T2 sub in there as well, but it's going to be a bad time. Retreat is the option. Retreat is the goner. Okay. What's going on here? Navy pushing on up, and that is Geo under the cosh again. Getting pushed through his comm is in residence, and I think he should be okay. There are some T2 units coming in, but he should be able to take care of those, I'd imagine. Down here we see a cruiser from front collar, and he is having a good time as well. Gonna lob shells over this way onto that. And during this entire time, Konorak hasn't done awful for himself. He's managed to hold his half of the island. He even managed to push back a little bit on the right, but the Navy's going to ruin his day of doing that, because he grabbed T2 units and he's just finishing off there. Alright, got a drop, though I think it's just an energy drop. No problems. And I wonder if Konorak has been left alone just to be able to build up all of that. Something exploded. I think that was Control K of factory, so he could reclaim the mass. Yeah. It was Control K. Down here, this cruiser's having a great time. Killing off T2 mass extractors. Going on down there from that guy. And Geo needs to be a little bit careful. Down into the yellow with his comm, he wants to think about moving back, because if he gets surprise torpedoes, he's going to have a very bad time. Got some Corsairs coming over to help whittle the health off the destroyer, but a cruiser, that's going to ruin their day entirely. But if you can focus the cruiser down, I mean, it is right there, so why not? Salem's going to take some damage again. Very damaged Salem there, very damaged one there, and that's the end of the Corsairs though. And this destroyer is about to die a horrible death. Down it goes, leaving a very exposed commander. And he's going to want to run. Takes down the mermaids, so that's part of the torpedo presence gone, and if he focuses on those he'll be okay. But as a cruiser this time that comes out, it's going to have all the visual range he needs to see what he needs to kill. That will be alright. Yeah. Yeah, so when it comes to Navy, some depends on that. UEF and Seraphim have the cruisers which have tech missiles. They just launch absolute barrages like that going over, and they're obviously their anti-air is alright. It's flak on the Seraphim ones, but other missiles on the UEF, it's all units of difference, but it is reasonably balanced. People have their favourite factions, they learn how to play them, they learn how to do well, and that is a TAC missile. That's launching away, looking like it's trying to take out some of the eco from old front collar, and if he does, taking out that one, another one going down there, knocks out that one, which has just gone T2. It's going to be a complete waste of eco. But on the right hand side, this is Geo being very brave with this comm. He's just basically standing around taking it like a man in range of torpedo defense. maybe not the best idea, and he's focusing down the cruisers with his commander, because why not? They've got 0 defense against those torpedoes, and he needs to stop them from killing that, because should he lose that factory, it's going to be game over. Well, I don't think he's forgotten about his commander. I think he has deliberately got it there. Just knocked off that, and now he's going back to killing the cruisers because they're doing a good job. But yeah, Konorak is trying to get into the Navy game, throwing down some factories as he needs to, and he's done a reasonable job. Look at this, he's actually pushed back on his island, even though there was a, although having said that, Konораchi's not really doing much with his commander. He's just standing there doing nothing. But he has now got T3 land against him, so McNeil hasn't been idle. Do we have T3 land for Mr. O'Connor? Well, we don't. We've only got T2. That'll be a problem for him. On the left hand side, Navy's not looking so great. We do have a few Salems. Can he actually see what he's shooting at this time? Oh, there we go, he's got some radar. That there, nope, something else is giving him the radar, must be sonar. What's giving him that visibility? Ah, there we go, cruiser there from Tomato. That means he can see what he's going for. There are 4 destroyers and anti, but between all of this and these, I think they should be able to win with a double push. But on the right hand side, you can see now Geo's had to fall back with his comm. He's down to half health, still got 9,000. Some veterans, he's a 5 rank commander. He's got himself a lot of torpedo kills, and if he can keep distracting things, be okay. Had to pop down some TAC missile defense there because of cruisers lobbing their missiles over. Wanted to keep things alive. He's getting some build assistance from Mr. Hacken. And of course these here as well are just in range to be able to help that. Bam GM, how are we doing? Hoping you're having yourself a good day. I presume you've just woken up pretty recently. This is an air snipe attempt from Hacken. There's a bunch of Corsairs coming over trying to do what they can to beat things down, but they're just going to run into shields, and then they're going to run into ASFs. And they're going to get approximately jack shit done. They do kill a shield generator. Congrats. Definitely wasn't worth it. Alrighty. Watching the demo having a bud. Yeah, fair enough. Geo is doing interesting things with this comm. He's actually pushing out forward. The Salem has rolled on up, probably wants to try and put some pressure on these cruisers, which are very annoying. There's a T2 torpedo defense back here, which is going to have a good time against those frigates. Might even get a rank of veterancy out of it should he be able to take that one down, and then they can start regenerating health at a much greater rate. There we go, rank of vet, happy boy. Right, there is a Salem coming in, but Geo is round there with his Torpcom, and there is a defending Salem right here, so he should be okay. Should be able to hold that, though he's under a lot of pressure. Corsairs come out, they're doing some point-blank defense. With that, I'm surprised there's Corsairs, not torpedo bombers, but anyway, you do you, my friend. And in the middle, this has not gone so well for Konorak. The T3 units, some sniper bots, some harbingers, and he has been forced to fall right back. Comm has been pulled to the left, and he's actually got the chrono upgrade, so you can see these units are getting stunned every so often. That's due to him doing that. Chrono dampener needs a lot of energy to run, but it's incredibly effective when fighting enemy units with your comm. But he probably wants to consider a gun upgrade. Nonetheless, he has problems on the right hand side. Sniper bots, harbingers, shields. That's in for a bad time if he can't do something about it. On the left, well, that's a lot of Navy. From Team 1, they are pushing down right up on the coast. Not going to get a lot done there because, you know, cliffs. But if they push down this way, they could look at carving out this Navy and maybe doing some damage to the icons, the NGs down there. I'm having a great day. How are you doing? Right, down here, a lot more cruisers from Iconics, and I just wonder if maybe he wants to consider putting in some more destroyers. Because cruisers are great and all, but they're terrible against other Navy that's mobile. Well, having said that, we see the T3 submarines, Seraphim famous for those guys. Very, very well, glass cannon almost. They do a massive amount of damage, they have good range, but if you get close to them, kind of paper out. Okay, health. So less than T3 unit with less health than a destroyer, and you throw commander lobbing torpedoes at those over there, and you see the health just shred off. But anyway, Looks like he popped a factory downwards to try and get some of this mid reclaim. It's not going to last. This is anti-sub hunter. They're going to fire on that. It's going to die a horrible, horrible death. Back up here, we did have a second factory put up, and T2 Navy as well, throwing out some barracudas. He's going to need them to try and stop these guys off. Surprised he hasn't switched over. We've got T3 here actually. It's a surprise he's doing that. We have torpedo bombers coming out from Hacken to be of assistance because that's all stage. Over here we see, oh, there is T2 Navy for Lord Tomato, but I think he's focusing on E cover a little bit whilst he's leaving his teammate over here. Focus on the Navy push. And a bit of a Navy push it is, and these submarines with their torpedoes are going to have a great time. They can knock out the destroyers, there'll be nothing to stop them, and they could some merry old havoc over there. On the middle island, well, this is looking pretty bad for Konarak. T3 units on left, a bunch of Harbingers under a shield going up against some T2. Never going to do great. What's he got left in his base? Well, he's got some eco. Get his eco. I mean, yeah, of course he's land or sea, but what land? Maybe he was expecting a land incursion since all his mixers died. Wouldn't be an awful idea. The old Iconics could drop over there and, yep, assistance on that factory. Insane. Right, T2 subs versus T3. Never a great idea. T3 subs are going to win that battle real easy. But, it's okay. Grabbing the reclaim there. Engineers are out, pulling up the mast that they can. Up here, a bunch of torpedo bombers out from Hacken, and they're going to focus down on some of these destroyers, or are they going for something else? I think they've decided to go for... Nope. Maybe they were going for the destroyer. Either way, they get not a lot done. Get moved by a cruiser and an air wing from Lamadin. Let's just keep on pushing on up, and we see Konarak with his commander once again. That good old chrono dampener, making everything sit still for a moment, just so we can get closer and get under the shield perhaps, overcharges that down, and say goodbye to everything else in a moment as overcharge rolls on back. Units on left are static, they could push on up and have a great time against the virtual nothing there. Some more sniper bots here, so Konarak has to be careful. Sniper bots can do a good amount of damage, and if they catch the commander out at range, you can die without realizing it. Okay, back on the left hand side, this has been a bit, I guess a bit of a failed push. These guys have all had to move on back, and now the subs are being attacked by torpedo bombers. No cruisers in sight. Do have some T3 air which could be used to come over and kill those off. But we mentioned the push that could happen from these guys, and the push indeed has happened. Got one very damaged and now very dead Harbinger, thanks to some T2PD, but these guys are ready to roll in. Konarak has to bring his commander back. He's got to try and stop that push, whatever he can. He even throws out some Obsidians just to try and delay these guys a bit. Here of Oblivions trying to do their best, but their best just can't get through that shield in time, and they go down. Another one was T1 PDs getting built up there. Not going to be Harbinger rolling out to try bend, but it's not looking great. This air is okay, and look at this. T3 subs are just starting to rampage their way through the units, but we do have a battleship. So Geo hasn't been idle himself. He's got a battleship. It's about to run afoul of a whole swarm of torpedo bombers, but Hackam is in the air with his ASFs, and he helps clean those up just in the nick of time. They were poised to do a heck of a lot of damage to these guys. Now then, speaking of battleships versus subs, did you know battleships have an area of effect damage? If you ground fire where these T3 subs are, you can actually damage them under the water. Yes, you can. Of course, these guys are a little bit busy shooting at the units on the surface of the water, like frigates, flak, or that kind of thing, and it's just going to gradually, slowly die. See, just defending battleship. It's just going to sit there, slowly kill things off. Time second battleship back here, just in assistance. Couple of T2 subs, and yep, not so good against hordes of T1 units, are the poor things. And now we have torpedo bombers from Geo. He's going to want to use those on these though. Torpedo bombers on these guys would be great. On the left hand side, a bit of a push. No, just holding this ground. So front collar being supported by Norchi is going to just hold the ground there. We have air from that. This galaxy goes down. And in come more of these sub-hunters. Okay. That galaxy decides, I'm going to drop back. And Geo says, I need help. And well, he kinda does. His commander can no longer stand the water. These would kill him in a heartbeat. The amount of damage they can put out, just have a look at their health, shred off this battleship. Once they focus it down, all these torpedoes come in, and it's just whittling away. So very quick. Straight up not having a good time. What's he got in response? Well, he hasn't got much. Popping out another battleship, but really what he should be thinking about is torpedo bombers and maybe harms. See a whole host of sniper bots here. That's enough to kill a commander in a volley or two, so that is very dangerous for Konorak. He's going to need to do. He's got a couple of sniper bots of his own. They are under a shield gen, so he might be okay. If you can manage to counter snipe those, he'd be alright. Even throw some T1 bombers at them just to pick off the ones at the edge. Time a horde of torpedo bombers are out. Now then, did he surface those? No, he didn't. Okay. The T3 subs for the Seraphim, the race that has T3 subs, they can actually surface and they have a very strong anti-air capability. The only thing is, if they surface, they die to Navy horribly. But they have some actually strong anti-air, so they're not that bad to surface and take out torpedo bombers if there's nothing else around. On the left hand side though, this has been a, well, it was a push put by Front Collar and Orochi, but they've been blindsided behind by Lord Tomato. He's rolled in with a huge number of submarines and has just started to demolish things there. There was a battleship in residence as well, so that's problems for Roslando, who's had to use his comm to try and help things out, and he's got encroaching Zuis. Really wants to do something about those. You know, anything. He's got 8 kills on that tech launcher. He's had a good time, but who knows? So a bit of pressure coming all over the place. We've got Navy up on the left. We've got T3 units from Bemil pushing on the right. There's a T1 bomber coming out. It's going to drop a bomb and have a great time at it. Storf. Good amounts of damage, and of course we do have some counter sniper bots and a T3 RD having to go there, and pushing on the right with T3 units too, so pretty good push going on all over the place for Team 2. They're getting themselves into a reasonable position, and we're seeing the end of the Navy for Roslando. They've got some supporting forces coming in from Lord Tomato, but not a lot left on going. And, well, that's why Konorak is behind a bit. He's building a GC. 40% done. Do we have any kind of counter yet? Well, nope, just units. But those just units have done a good thing. And we see here T3 RD for McNeil as well. That's going to start dropping shells on down here. Lands and gets absorbed by the shield for a little bit before finally killing off all of that. Unlucky Roslando. Brought out, he decides, I've had enough. Got Navy at his doorstep. He's got a battleship in residence. And rather than try to fight it down, he control K's himself out. That is going to be him gone. I think he could have stuck around a bit longer. He had a reasonable amount of eco, and he still had some good units back here. He had Navy support from his teammate. He might have been okay, especially with some torpedo bombers coming in, but mid is where it's at the moment. Some long range fire coming on down, but the longer McNeil waits, the closer that gets to being done. It is 70% done. That's a very close GC, and see Konorak has decided to evacuate his comm, but on the right hand side, units are all the way up in geospace, and what can you do about that? Well, therein lies the question, is that swarms of torpedo bombers trying to lob onto the submarines, and we'll be having a great time. battleship is firing at anything that comes along. It's going to die pretty shortly though, and we do have a harm. So the only T3 torpedo launcher in the game, which belongs to the Cybrins, is underwater, is very strong. It's a great time firing torpedoes at, well, everything. Another battleship out to absorb some of the fires coming in, and Konorak finishes his GC. It is ready to go, and his commander is well on the way out. One player down, we are Eunice ahoy. We have Zuis ready to roll all up. They can start killing things off by the land. Got a single battleship who's run into more harms over here. You can have a terrible time with that. Throwing some torpedo bombers and he's going to be a dead man. Got some hover flak floating in. They're going to start plinking damage on over there, and another battleship rolling up. So despite the defences going over, they're going to grab as much mass as they can. Where's that GC? Well, there it is. And it's going to try to catch up to these guys. I'm pretty sure these are faster. They're simply going to run away and try to kite it. And Geo, he's got an experimental too. That is a megalith. So this is actually a decent choice. So megalith is arguably the strongest experimental in the game. It's great range, does great damage, most health, and it has torpedoes. Get that into the water and it is going to help a great deal with all of this. Be able to soak up a lot of damage, be able to deal a lot of damage in return. It's going to be a good, see how that goes. But the GC is stomping its way to the middle, and these two guys have seen us coming and they have absolutely evacuated. No way they're hanging around there when there's a GC stomping its way forward. So, but we say that there are still these units over here. They're gonna land. Missed. It's unlucky. We have T3 subs up here as well. So front collar with T3 subs in the water trying to do a thing, and up here dire times for Geo. He has Navy outside of his base. He has hover flak ready to try and knock out any torpedoes. But this is going to be a game changer. Megabot's going to get in the water and it is going to start lobbing those torpedoes. It's going to start murdering absolutely anything. What is this? Laser done by Haken. Is he going for a telemaze? Well, he's got the teleport, and he's got the mazer, and he's got gun. Looks like he's grabbing up some power, and we should see a teleport out of him pretty soon. What kind of targets are we going to have? Very good question. What can they see? Not a lot. Alright, Konorak is back here with his comm, and where's that GC? Well, here it is. He's had a grand time cleaning up this little forward base, but it's now being brought down by a whole bunch of air. Needs an air wing. Well, he can't really afford to bring anything in because the air's sitting there from the Madden. It's going to try. Any kind of ground anti-air would have been great to have with that. So while the GC is doing its best to ruin his base is getting ruined by all these T3 units and the Navy off there. So probably the right choice for Konorak to evacuate his comm. Not much else he could have done at this stage. As he goes for a stomp, probably down towards this way. Checking out this side, and we see, there we go, the Megabot. It's absolutely having fun. These sub-hunters, look at that. Just shreds him down, loses a lot of health in the process, but once it vets, it's going to have a grand old time. Yeah, so still not teleporting anywhere yet, but he is good to go. GC is killing off Eco, down goes one mix, down goes another, and he's going to have a way. Well, Tomato's calling for air somewhere. Over here, I'd say. Yes, indeedy. Gunships are being killed off by interceptors, but I think they just have to lump that. GC is walking on down, going to kill off some more stuff down there. See, the Megalith is pulled off all of these guys for a good long while, giving some breathing room to Geo, so even if it dies, it's been worth. C has got himself a bunch of kills and is now in range of the main base, going to do some extra damage, but is also in range of a bunch of Navy, a couple of battleships, and some destroyers beside. I don't think it's going to last too much longer. More air comes in. Is it going to manage to kill it is. Can it kill the HQ before it dies is the question. Oh no, it's going for the eco first. Focuses down that. Gets another kill. Rank and Venerency. Help it live that a little bit longer to do some more damage. There we go. Absolutely everything's dead. GC will die being a mass deposit, but that is a good destruction of everything. It's going to die for cleaning that. Yes, it is. Just about everything destroyed for. And of course, the base is gone for Konorak, so he's back here with his comm. He's got nothing to his name but a commander and factory. Still, good times. Some units were pushed over there from Lord Tomato just to clean up the units from those guys. Down here, what has happened to the megalith? Well, it has dropped back. Like I said, it was enough time to just buy some room, buy some time, bit of breathing room to throw down some harms, and of course those are going to be ideal to help against this push coming in. So good times for that. Gonna rack up here. Well, I'm not sure what his plan is. Has literally nothing left. It throws out the GG. Okay. He's control king himself out of the game, but he's put in a safe place, no damage to anybody else. And what is... Well, there goes the telemaze from Hacken, and he actually picks up 2 people from Team 2. So as Konorak control K's himself out of the game, Hacken comes in and... Why? Those two standing right beside each other? Oh my word, that is a pick and a half. Gets the telemaze in on 2 of Team 2's players, and now it's even 3 versus 3. That was a turn, but that was, I think, possibly a very key moment in the game, because that was also their air player. That is all of the air. Although having said that, everybody should have air by now. We see, oh, that's only T2 for Narochi. We do have T3 down here for Iconic, so he's okay on that front. There was a T3 air factory there. Yes, there is. So T3 for McNeil. I know there's T3 here. I saw it before. Here it is, T3 for Geo, so he's right. And yep, he's fine over here. Thanks to that crab being around, helping thin out numbers, and the harms in the water knocking things away, and the absolute swarm of torpedo bombers. Survive. The crab is under attack again. That's a lot of sub-hunters, and a lot of flak in the business as well, so even if torpedo bombers do come around to kill these off, they're going to get knocked out by that. Crab is beasting a hasty retreat because their health is just melting off the damn thing. Is it going to actually survive and get out? Well, it won't matter too much because of the death location. Even if it dies, it's going to be a mass donation to himself. He can just reclaim that and build another one. Absolutely fine. Great battleship having a good time. It is lobbing some shells over all of these. They're going to die a horrible death. Subs are going to be picked off by torpedo bombers, though he's going to lose a whole bunch of them in the process. Kind of needed to, because they have to go. Needs to get some kind of navy going though, because these guys are all hover. They won't get killed by torpedoes, so they have to get killed by things on the surface. Well, the Mega actually got a rank of Venerency, so it survives. And there we go, it's sitting at just the right height for its guns to be in play, and the torpedoes, so it's shooting at things with its guns and lobbing out torpedoes. It's going to have a great time now. Anything getting close to that thing is going to have a bad time. Subs are coming up trying to attack out the harms, but within range of the harms equals death for them, and within range of the megalith. Okay. All the rebuilding is going on. We see that McNeil's trying to grab this, reach this middle island, although there are some battleships and residents from Lord Tomato going to deny that. Aside all this reclaim grab, let's just have a look at the reclaim. 250,000 reclaim. Just waiting. Grabbed. Look at T3 power that he had. 130k reclaim, just sitting here ready to grab, to do it, do something with it, have a good time. But up here we see that the units have thinned out once again for Geo. Some torpedo bombers coming in to help from Hacken, but not a lot, and of course the flak is in residence to cause them to have a bad time. Megabot still floating around. Just waiting. It comes in range, although these are not getting a range, although they're popping in range of the harms by the look. Yes, indeed, they're going to get picked up, and sorry, excuse me, the megalith is crawling back in, and it's going to start shooting down the flak, because why not? Heavy guns above, your torpedoes below, kill everything. Having said that, needs to be a wee bit careful, doesn't want to lose the Megabot, and that is a battleship, although not much left of that actually. What has been attacking this? Well, probably that battleship. No, it's brand fresh built new. So not the battleship. And the crab walks out a little bit further. Maybe you can train his guns on there, but no. The guns are now underwater, so it's purely torpedo. Which means that now I can't hit these. Just lobbing torps at the Navy. That's okay, it'll be alright for now, although if it gets in range of these things it's not going to have a great time. Torpedo bombers out, that might be what's killing the battleship, and enough, yep, just enough. Battleship is down on the left hand side, big Navy push coming in from the Lord Tomato. It's got a bunch of battleships in residence going up against 3 over here, although there is a stealth thing that's not going to help when you're being surrounded by a torpedo. I keep saying that, there's submarines, not torpedoes. Down here, a good patch build force up there. We do have a harm resistance of anti-air. Probably going to want more harms and start creeping them out this way, just to be safe. Rebuilding up here, grabbing all the mess with the reclaim. There we go, indeed, units, engineers everywhere. Mass. See, Norwich is actually giving it over to his teammates. That's a chicken. That could be an interesting choice. Get it walking through the water and finishing off coming back up. Down here, more units in residence. They're just kind of chilling. Not sure what the plan is there with this Navy on the rampage. Looks like they are really trying to break Geo over here. But he is just holding on for dear life. The megalith has finally died. There's the corpse. Strayed maybe a little bit too far. Now there's like a single battleship trying to defend against all of this. There are some harms back here. In fact, there's another one going up on there, another one going up there. Torpedo bombers out again. Geo is absolutely in trouble. Cruiser. Destroyers, T3 subs. Is he going to be able to hold on? Well, that battleship's going to finish, I think, and then it'll be able to help out as well. And they repair that. Oh, there we go. Looks like these guys have been set for repair, and now the battleship is soaking up all the fire that was going for that, although it's not too far off dying. Oh dear. I think we're going to see the end of the HQ, and that is going to be Geo out of the water. The only units he has left in the water now is his commander. That's very risky. Got a bunch of support commanders. He's trying to throw up some of more harms, which he desperately needs. Geo's yelling for help. He basically says, if I die, you're fucked. And, well, he's not wrong. Because Hacken has nothing in the water. How did the teleport kill them? No. This guy. So the Cybran commander, he can build this thing on his chest, which is known as a maser. Wait a second. There we go. Microwave accelerator beam. And it does a massive amount of damage. It's pretty much the same thing they have on Monkey Lord. So the little wee small experimental Cybrans build. It's one of those on the chest of commander. He teleported himself over here. And he killed 2 enemy commanders with that, because if you're not expecting it, you'll die a horrible death. Looks like Hacken tried to drop over here with some units and build up some factories, but no. Denied by Norwich. Up here, is the fight back real? Is the defense going to hold? Is all the questions. Hacken has built an experimental. What has he built? Oh, he's built a bug. That's actually going to be... oh yeah, it could be a help. You can knock out all the enemy units, kill off some of the cruisers, get rid of the anti-air. That bug should be able to do absolute wonders and just help hugely with the defense of G's coastline. Pretty good there. How are we doing up here? Not a problem. Navy is still being pushed back on the left though. Looks like it's just been a bit of a hold from Lord Tomato. He's just claiming that area, saying no more. He wants to keep things away. Bug is having a great time. Got himself a bunch of kills, and if he focuses down the cruisers, he'll be a happy man and can then do a lot more damage. Up here we see more harms trying to get built, but they get absolutely primaried by the cruisers. They die off. Nothing happens. And bug down 6,000, 60,000, 55,000 health. So there we see. They're surfaced and they have a deck gun which is firing anti-air. Really good damage and really high muzzle velocity. Kills things pretty darn good. Not bad at all, especially in large numbers. So yeah, if there's no navy around, surface those guys and they will be anti-air and do real good amounts of damage. Okay, torpedo bombers coming in. Let's have a look at torpedo bombers versus T3 subs. There is some flak as well, but just have a look at that. Yeah, flak's probably doing most damage because they're all bunched together, but having said that, these guys again not doing badly for themselves either. On the left hand side, is that thinning out a navy a bit for Narochi? So they've got itself down to 3 battleships. There are 5 there for Tomato, so I think Tomato's in command of that spot right there. He's got air floating about as well, who'd be alright. Going to have to be careful about pushing into this though. That's a lot of harms. They're going to do a mad amount of damage, and here we go. Navy on this side has stopped trying to push Geo and is now wandering back over this way, and that's not a bad call. If they can get over here and do some damage to Tomato's facilities, he's going to stop being able to build Navy, and he's going to have some issues of his own. Question is, will it be noticed back? Will he leave them down there? Have to find out shortly. Or more subs from Iconics. Much build power. Many engineers. And that chicken's still building, slowly, but it's still building. It'll get there, and we see right away these guys are going to run into a few harms, which is a terrible idea. First that decision, but possibly a bit too late. This poor hapless frigate picked up and doomed. Alrighty, again though, breathing room for Geo, and I think he's managed to reclaim his own megalith, or perhaps that was done by Engis from Iconics while he was pushing in. Either way, he's now got this much mass. Oof. This field here is 90,000 mass ready to go. Zoom out a little bit, add all this, you've got 10,000 mass ready to reclaim in that area. You're gonna want to use it. Get it and use it for something. Alright. What has Hacha got planned? Well, he's just been building up more air. Got an anti-nuclear just in case. Commander is fine. There's a monkey being planned. Not sure what he's going to do with that, but it's a monkey. Could go stealthy through the woods. The bug is down here, looking to kill off a bunch of anything it can get its hands on, but will it be spotted? Isn't very healthy, just probably trying to get a rank of Veteracy on the thing so I can get some regen going. Has been pinged now. Who has the air? Where's the air? Oh, there we go. And we see the air from McNeil is on the way. I don't think that bug has long to live. Another crab. So Geo hasn't been entirely idle. He's got a crab, he's got harm supporting it, he's got battleships, he's got a bunch of support commanders, and the air comes in from Tomato only to get absolutely wrecked by McNeil's air wing, and fighting over enemy cruisers. Never a great idea. Gonna see the end of that bug in one pass, I think. Zappity zaps and boom, and out of the sky drops. Air decides, yeah, nah, I'll turn back. Nothing left to save there. Alrighty. Things just go a wee bit quiet for the moment. Still have a myriad band units down here, and these submarines are still on the surface. Not a great plan. They get noticed, and anything with range shoots at them, they'll die a horrible death. They're at their weakest when they're up on top. But yeah, still do some damage. Alright. Anything planned interesting by anybody? Looking for game eaters here, a nuke, a T3RD, and anything. Nope, we have a gateway with build power being placed around it by Mr. Geo, so he's planning on getting a bit more eco. Looks like he now has a decent hold on the Navy front. Good to go there. Did you finish that? Oh no, he's still working on that. It's a very, very slow. That all T1 NG's building it? It is, so no build power on the Athota whatsoever. Going up very slowly. He's going to want to think about remedying that. A lot better. Has a good band of Navy here and defense, and strats are out from Geo, so he's finally getting to go on the offensive. Couple of strats out, needs a third one, doesn't have it, although they might get to turn around at this rate. Not really taking much damage from T1 and T2AA. Should see the death of that mass extractor there. On the left hand side, there we go, the Navy was pulled back by Haken to deal with this, and okay, the subs were put back underwater just as well. They've been caught out by these guys, they'd be dead. As it is, everything back here is going to die horribly to all these battleships. They're just going to get obliterated from all of it. These guys are going to try their best to do what they can, but there's a lot of subs and torpedo bombers coming over from Haken, so not going to be too long for this world. There's that monkey. Where is it going? We don't know. Iconics has finally built Lady Athota. It's been a long time coming, but it has been done. What do we have planned down here? Nothing. Planned over here. A Tempest. Nice choice. Tempest is good. Nice, lots of damage, great range. It's in the game here. More stress coming over from Geo, so he's determined to take out the eco over here. 4 T3 mass extractors. And is another one going to go down? Oh, it is. Bombs away. Strap bombs go down, but they do take out the mix. I don't know if that was worth it. In death, those things, so 4 strap bombers gives, that accurate? Like 7,000 reclaim? Probably a bit under, but and then you can rebuild the T3 mix. I don't think that was worth it. It's annoying, sure, but I don't think it was worth it. Air battle in the middle, and that's going to go much better for McNeil. He's caught Haken out his units. Just getting absolutely slammed. They're also flying over anti-air on the ground, and that is a solid air win for McNeil. There goes the air wing down for Haken, and what's he going to do from there? Don't know. Massive build up of units on the left hand side from Norichi, so he's got himself back into the Navy game. Now there's a face off here. So that distraction of all of these guys worked a charm and has allowed him to get himself back into place. That is the Tempest. It's done. It's up. It is ready to go. Torpedo Swarm. They're going to have a go at, well, everything, but they're going to run into all the flak. Still should be able to kill off a few of these guys. And which they do, but they die. More stress flying over. We've got more eco dying. Next, do we have one more bomber? Nope, so that one survives for now. But this has hurt Iconics eco. Let's just have a look how many he's lost. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or so. Just pop some T3 engineers back, rebuild them on straight away. T3 mass extractor while reclaiming the dead corpses. He's not at so much eco. Monkey has made it onto the land. He's going to have a fun time. There's nothing on the land to really stop him. And there's a lot of eco under threat. Having said that, there is some Navy which could start lobbing shells. Will we see? Oh. Goes the big boom. Smack. Huge amounts of damage, but you want to stay at range. There we go. Good boy. Now then, question. What have they got to stop the monkey? Looks like a switch up to Spectres, so we're going to see some T2 gunships come flooding out of these. They're going to have a go at killing the monkey off, which they might be able to do. Presumably there is enough air to keep them alive, or the air is here, broad with the ASFs, whilst torpedo bombers go in for the Tempest. Not enough to kill it, enough to do a good amount of damage so they know the Tempest is there. Take a good amount of pain, but not enough to kill it. And up here we see the gunships are now onto the monkey. They're going to start killing it off pretty effectively. Not best anti-air on that unit. McNeil has built an experimental, so he's finished another Tempest. Geo is calling for help, and boy does he need it. That's a lot of T3 subs, and some SACUs here should start building harms ahoy. Like this. Just all the harms. Okay. That's why he's calling for help, because there's the Yathota. Never mind these guys, there's a Yathota walking up to his base, and that's not going to finish in time. There are some stress trying to take it down, but not enough. There's a Megalith back here. Might be able to come up and help. Geo should be alright, his comm is safe over there, and the strats are doing good damage. And then there's some battleships off the coast. They're lobbing some shells over onto that Yathota as well, so actually doing pretty good. That might be okay. Lord Tomato has finished the experimental. What have you built? What have you built? There's a T3RD just there, but what did you build? Oh, there it is. It's another monkey. This monkey died down there. Died to the gunships, and the Yathota is still going, although it's nearly dead. Strats have been killed by air, so it's actually going to get in range and wants to keep moving. Doesn't want to stand still, wants to keep moving, especially before that gets built. In fact, because it stood still, it is not going to get anything done, and it says fuck that piece of ground in particular. Nope, there it goes. But Crab is done. A few volleys, and that's one dead chicken. It is a goner. Could have done so much better. The potential was there if air had been a support cutting off the strats. If even this flak had been closer, it would have been great. And Crab has been handed over to Geo, so he's got 2 of these now, and if he counter pushes down here, it's going to be a bad time. The Tempest have been handed over to Iconic to push up with. The monkey is still sitting there. The T3RD, well, I wonder what kind of range that has actually. Let's find out. Well, not awful. Though having said that, it can't hit either of the 2 main bases. It can decimate McNeil's base, but it's not going to be able to reach any further, and of course all of this doesn't exist because it got taken out. That's how long it has been since Team 1 have flown a unit over this section of the map. Because all this is the stuff that belonged to Lamadan, that used to be scouted, used to be there, but it's been dead since he got tally-mazed all that time ago. Speaking of scouting, have Team 2 been doing any better? Well, not so much. None of this has been scouted, and they certainly don't know about the existence of an upcoming T3RD. And once it starts opening up on McNeil's base, he's going to have a problem. But speaking of problems, we see what we mentioned about battleships doing ground firing. As the shells come over, they have area of effect, they explode, actually take out these guys that are underwater. If they sit still for too long, see the shells come in, taking damage. Let's get past all that. Tempest having a great time doing damage to this guy. He's going to soar in the morning. 2 megas are on the way though. And are they paying attention? They can see them. What are they going to do? Well, what they should do is bring all of these over here. If they have all of these sub-hunters over here, the moment those megas enter the water, they're going to start taking a lot of damage, and holy heck, that's a lot of strats. So Geo has a bunch of strats. How many has he got? Well, there's 13 strats, although a bunch of them are back there, and has been spotted. So here comes the air from McNeil in defense. The strats are going to circle away. They don't want a bar of that. As well they shouldn't, but flying over flak is never a good idea. extra damage onto the ASF for no reason whatsoever, and I'm pretty sure McNeil's going to win that air battle because of it, unless he does an incredibly bad turn and the strats turn away. What are they going to go for? Well, they've moved, they've returned, the distraction has worked, McNeil's units are over there and the strats are going. I think they're trying to find a commander to kill. There isn't a commander here. Oh, there is. No, they're going for the T3 HQ and they're gonna get it. So that is going to delay. Was a massive delay for Iconics. He's going to now have to build a T3 naval factory from scratch, get it to HQ, and during this entire time he won't be able to build any more sub hunters. No more of these T3 subs. Nothing's going to happen in the meantime. The crabs are on the way. Have they been forgotten about? Who knows? That's the support commander going down at the front, so I don't think he's remembered about those. He should be able to see them. There we go. They're right by the flak. And of course, there we go. So the torpedo, the subs have come over. They're going to try and do some damage on these, but they're far too late. The crabs are going to get up here, they're going to get onto land, and they're going to do a lot of damage, because what have they got on the ground to stop those? Well, basically nothing, although that's a lot of gunships. A lot of gunships coming over, probably leftovers from killing this monkey. A couple of cheeky little T1 Arties have been having a great time. Look at that. They've been just killing stuff off easy, completely unnoticed, while everything else has been going on. And we see here the crabs are, they have made landfall, and in come the gunships. Although the air is in residence from Haken, that gets absolutely obliterated, flies over the flak and the air wing, and we should see these crabs die slow, painful deaths. Don't think they're going to make it to anything critical. Geo says, what a fucking game. Indeed, I agree. This has been going on for ages. How's that T3 Artie? Well, it's still going up. Almost done. Geo is very unhappy with things that are going on. And look at that crap. Everybody says his entire team is doing shit, but I'm going to say Haken has been average during the game, except for the one spectacular moment with the tele snipe. Absolutely spectacular. There's been a gradual hold and push up here from Lord Tomato. He needs to start doing a bit better though. He's left it too long, and now there's so many harms lined up here. It'll be a very difficult nut to crack. I guess that's why he's going for the Artie. The gunships are still in residence. They're having to go at the crab and is slowly dying. We do see tech missiles coming in from the cruisers. They're not going to get a lot of work done if the crab moves. Still, it's going to take some damage, but otherwise not. And we do see a Tempest coming in. Lob some shells over. Watch that come in. Watch it connects. If it does, lots of damage. And it does. Lots of damage. So, is the crab going to get in range? Well, it can see this now. Can it kill it before it dies? It should be able to. Looks like it's going to focus down on some of the eco instead. Down into the red, 25k. Let's say another experimental build somewhere. Go die. Crab almost dead. Takes out that mass extractor. Down it goes. But we mentioned the lack of factory for Iconics. He has no T3 naval HQ, so we can't actually build more naval units. Here we have our land push from Tomato, so he has not been idle. He's got some units up here, building himself a Maker Lord as well, and these guys are going to have fun cleaning up all sorts of stuff. They can just romp on down with impunity, nothing to stop them except a few stray engineers. They'll stop a bullet or two before they go pop. And the T3 Artie is up. Here are the shells. I think they are going down here. The pings are out. Is that going for? Well, it's going for that particular spot of C apparently. I imagine the target's over here, but Cybran Artie is terribly inaccurate, so it could be anywhere. And look at the strats, more strats from Geo, just spread out, bombs dropping everywhere, all over the place. Area damage absolutely decimates The air grid of McNeil. All his power gone, all his factories gone. He can't build any more air, and now Lord Tomato sweeps him with his own ASF. Hakim comes in with his ASF as well, and that is going to be a solid air victory for Team 1, so they now control the skies. That spells bad news, especially with Geo throwing out strap bombers left, right and centre. The push is real. Tomato is moving him with his navy, he's moved him with his air, he was moving him with his land, but now there's whalers overhead, causing problems for those guys. But the main battle is here, and I think it's gone very poorly for Tomato. There are just so many harms in the water. Rolling into that, he has lost so many units, and of course there are battleships in residence as well, so extra damage, extra pain, extra badness. However, Monkey is a coming. There's really nothing left here. Got some shields, got some SACUs, throwing down some anti-air. Yep, because anti-air will do great against that. I don't think we're going to see that last much longer. We do have a Tempest down here which is slowly dying. Is doing some good damage though. Down goes the battleship. See, do we have another battleship here? Torpedo smacking into all these SACUs. They're not going to have a great time against sub-hunters. Another battleship taking more damage. So losing battle for that guy.
Strategic launch detected.
A nuke. So battleships, Seraphim battleships can build nukes because why not? Question is, where is that headed? Looks like it's going here, and there's a whole bunch of SACUs just ripe for the picking. And a battleship which is probably going to die anyway. There's a shell from the Tempest. Borscht. Down comes the nuke. I'm going to see all of these guys die. Maybe. There we go. Mayhem. Jerry laughs. Nuke on his SACUs because why not? Not going to get his base because he has an SMD. Or does he? I don't actually see an SMD in his base. That's amazing. They'd scouted it. They knew exactly what he had. I don't see any SMD. Could have nuked him. They should have nuked him. Right down here, Spiderbot is static, slowly dying to battleships. Up here the Navy battle has gone poorly. For Lord Tomato, he's had to fall back, he's lost everything. On the land though, we have another monkey over here, we have a bunch of bricks defending it, and the air wing of course is in resistance should some air decide to try and ruin their day. But I think that nuke might have been the mistake. I really think they should have tried to land it over here. No SMD whatsoever, in fact there's still no SMD. Kind of surprised he hasn't built one. I'm not blind, right? There isn't one hiding that I just can't see whatsoever. Oop. That's right. But having said that, Battleship does have limited range with that nuke. So it would have to move, say, up here. Be able to actually lob the nuke in range of the base. Still worth it though. Do so. Get there. Nuke that. And that's a huge weight. Shoulders. There'd be huge advantage taking out all of that. Lord Tomato on the other hand, well look at him. He's got all this eco rolling around. He's over 1k income by himself. Finish that out, he's building a second one and a third one. I think that's the wrong idea. Stop that, build a Scathus. These guys just don't have the range. Does he know this? Seriously. He's going to be able to kill all this, yes, but he can't touch these bases back here. All he can. Space in the middle. Scathus, he could kill absolutely everything. So still trying to build another nuke, and still needs to move it. Speaking of Scathus, that's Scathus fire. Where's that? Well, it's right here. And ready to launch again. Are you ready? Boom, 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 boom. That's why you build a Scathus, if you have the eco. And just have a look at what it does to people's base. Those shells just come over like a... It's an artillery shotgun, basically. Rice Fox, it has been... You know, this is one of the balance changes they've done. It's no longer rapid fire, it's now an artillery shotgun. This is what it does. It just says, fuck you to this general area. Does a damn good job of it too. My oh my. Alright, more shells are on the landing. Here they go. It is horribly inaccurate. Like, you know, but just everything in the general area will just damage everything. So, yeah. Blazes. I mean, you see when I zoom just a little bit more in, all the impacts. All the impacts. And that's exactly what this guy should have built. Fuck the disruptors. But having said that, they are in range of that. They could shoot if they knew where it was, and maybe they are. Though the Scathus has now changed targets, and he is now under attack himself, so Lord Tomato is now the recipient of Scathus fire, and that's going to cause some pain. He's at danger of losing all of this once those shells land. Over here we see, well, he's going to survive as old Geo. He's lost a bit of energy, but he'll be alright. But now the shells rain down on the base of Lord Tomato, and his ACU is actually right here as well. He should be safe, maybe. Look at that. Damage, boom, splat, kabow. Pick your word of choice. That was very much the better choice to make. Map this size. These guys back here, pretty pointless. Might as well control K and reclaim them and build one of these Scathus instead. More shells come flying on in, and they are going to wreck the air grid he's got, and his commander is now actually very much in danger. If Lord Tomato goes down, there's going to be a big problem. He's going to have to rely on the horribly inaccurate Scathus fire, and honestly, he wants to get into the water. Into the water with that will save him from the Scathus. As... oh, they changed targets? Or is that just the trajectory playing up a little bit? Nope. I thought they changed targets, which would have been a horrible idea. But it is the way more shells are coming. We see strats coming sneakily down this side. Monkey is out, but it's been focused down by whalers. No, there's a couple of bounces in the area, but check these shells landing. Lord Tomato, if you get in the water, you'll be safe from Scathus shells. They can't get you in deep water. More landing, we're going to see the death of so much. Boom. The pain, the pain. But the T3RD is firing back because this Scathus is in range of the T3RD. I don't know why they brought it over here. It could have been sitting over here quite comfortably and being able to fire shells from absolutely anywhere. The air's coming over to take care of the whalers. Not that this land can get much further, though it can go into the water, I guess. More shells landing. More damage to Lord Tomato's base. How is this looking? Well, the shields have collapsed, so the T3RD are getting through. If this goes down, it will be a significant victory. Oh my word. Run away, get in the water, run away, do something, anything. Move your butt. Like, what's it doing? It's refocusing somewhere else? That's a curious choice. Oh, it's lobbing over here, trying to knock out these guys. Well, that's a terrible decision. Get it away, into the water, get it over here, because at this rate, it's simply going to die, and there's no point doing that. No point doing that whatsoever. Use it to shell bases. Hello, that's a teleport, so Haken has teleported with his comm once again, and he's going to step out of the water, and he is going to kill that Scathus. It was pretty much dead anyway, but yeah, there we go. Scathus gone down, commander is there, wants to think about not standing there, there's plenty of point defense, goes back under the water, and then he's going to teleport away, and he'll be fine. There's a little teleport signal on his back, so he's ported in, he's running away, and there's not enough units in the area to kill him off quickly. Had there been a swarm of torpedo bombers anywhere, they could have jumped on and completely murdered him. There are some whalers trying to do something. No, because he's underwater, they can't do anything, they can't hurt him. And he's going to get away quite happily. That's the end of the Scathus. Should have absolutely built it back here, where there were defences, where there were shields, where the T3RD could not reach, and it would have had a much better time. There we go. Scathus 2? Come on, pick one. Don't build two at once, build one. Build one. Control K these. Actually, how is this mess? He's fine. Basically pick one, not two. All this build power. No. That reeks of poor decision making. Anyway. On the right hand side, still got a Tempest rolling around. It's got plenty of anti-air with it. Got plenty of units in the water. Got some flak sitting over here just chilling. Got a Megalith rolling up from Haken. And that will take out these guys quite happily. This has been a hell of a game. T1 RT spam from Haken as well. Not going to do so great against mobile harbingers, but and some gunships, that'd be fine. Reclaim on the way. Rebuild it somewhere else, please. Anywhere back here would be great. I'm not seeing a damn thing. What about back here? Nope, nothing. So no T4, no game enders. For these guys, they seem to be out of ideas, and if they don't pick things up, this is going to be the end of them. They have abandoned building this one, perhaps. Oh, cloaking onto Lord Tomato's comm, and there goes his power, because that is a massively power-hungry upgrade. That's okay. T3 shells are still raining on down here, and they're just about finished reclaiming all the mass out of that Scathus, and they will be fine. Still, the game goes on. Still, they just can't quite break down Geo, though he is held off, and now he's got a decent number there, and he's got aircraft carriers, which of course build air nice and fast. So it doesn't matter if your air grid dies over here, you've got aircraft carriers in the water, they can just start building air of their own. Plenty of ACF overhead for Haken. I don't really know what they're doing there, just sort of chilling. Doesn't matter. Crab is on the way. It's probably going to loiter up on here and start raining fire down on whatever it can. Time up there. Alright, Geo says use torps. What torp? Some bouncers. Yep. Bouncers in the mix. Going to kill those things off pretty good. Yeah, they're whalers, but you know, bouncers. And SAMs. Not good. Done. So there's McNeil, that's his comm. He's going to need some shields and he'll be okay. Shells are landing down on this base from the T3RD because it's really all they can hit. There's nothing else in range. That's a reclaim? Nope, that's a build and a reclaim at the same time. That's a silly idea. Pick one or the other. Scathus there. On the right though, you see the crab has made it to the edge. Horde of whalers come and do some massive damage. Look at their health just fall off that thing. Added to all the TAC missiles from the cruisers. Battleship down here lobbing some shells in, and that's a very dead crab very quickly. So Haken's not paying attention. Crab is a dead man. It's a waste. Could have been so much better. Now he flies his ASF and they're going to roll over a bunch of cruisers, a bunch of flak. Mass amounts of damage are going to happen to these guys. They are going to pick up all the whalers, but they're going to take huge casualties doing so. So much damage. So much pain. But it's going to clear the air out, so I guess well done. It's the way of it. Speaking of air, there's whalers in from Geo, so he's built and launched a whole bunch of those. How many does he have? 34 whalers. A good number to kill everything. Down here we see we have some defences up. We've got a gateway. Got a couple of harbingers loitering around, but they'll be right. And this is what whalers do to ground units. With that anti-air, they absolutely obliterate them. Air wing is staying in front of those guys, going to keep them safe from any air that might be on the rotation, but of course there's nothing. The air grid for McNeil died. He's down to just a few ASF left, and who else is building some? Well, nobody really. This is all just scouts coming out from Naroki. And there's no air coming out. Well, there is these whalers coming out from Iconics, so not even really needed. That Scathus was their best call. It's absolutely the move to make, because I'm fortunate I placed it. And Narochi has finished the laser on his comm. Is he going to go for a desperation laser? Well, if they're going to try, they'd need to know what Lord Tomato's comm was, and well, they can't really see him because he's under a cloak. And to some 0.1 PD, some T2 PD. He stays there under shield. He should be absolutely fine. Scathus going up slowly, but gradually. T3 shells are still raining on down here, just impacting on shields. Nobody really cares. The whalers are going in for somebody. Well, what can they go for? They can't get Iconics because he's underwater. They can instead go for, well, I don't know what they're going for. Eco? I guess they're going for Eco. There's no real big target they can go for. Just a matter of kill off Eco, and that's all they can do. There's nothing else for them to get. He's underwater. He's underwater. There's a nuke. Where's that? There it is. Is it actually going where it should have gone last time? That's the question. Range, maybe. Okay, it's going for this up here. Not a bad target. Still no anti-nuke in the base, but it doesn't matter. Nuke there is not a bad idea. You're going to pick up a few battleships and a bunch of harms and leave a gap to push into. It's not awful. Is that Geo? Yep, all the way back there with his comm, so he has evac'd quite happily. Stay up there, and bish bash bosh. Nuke go boom. Kills off the harms, does a good amount of damage to some of the battleships. And we do know that these Tempests, well, they don't have any left. All the Tempests are dead. Maybe they just died from the whaler swarm that came in, and hello. That's a T3RD, there we go. From Hackham. So that one's a wee bit better because it's closer. And there we go. It can actually reach the two bases. So that's a better placement for T3RD. That's not such a bad idea. Because it can reach all of this. So things are looking pretty grim. Team 2. Geo says, I don't see how we win this. Whereas I'm sitting there going, I think you guys are in a pretty good spot. Maybe not him personally, like he's gonna be struggling some, especially with these units coming in and all these sub-hunters and whatnot, but his teammates are okay. There's no air they have to worry about because there's no air grid being built. There's no arty that they've built to try and counter. The Scathus was their big trump card, and it was doing great wonders till it got caught out by these T3 arty. They had been, I still say the Scathus back here would have been fine, would have survived and just been wrecking mayhem everywhere. But as it is, the Scathus is just about done for Lord Tomato, and once that's done, I'm pretty sure it's going to be game. Stalemate on the right hand side here. We have so many harms in the waters, so many harms. They'll just light up anything that comes close. On the right hand side, the whalers are trying their best, but they are getting obliterated by so much flak. So much flak, they're just falling out of the sky. Stress coming in from Haken going for battleship, I guess. Cruisers, who knows. Battleship is pretty much dead, but so are the stress for very little gain. Looks like the arty is getting through over here though, seeing some death and destruction. That's a dead thing there. Lots of damage to the hives. The quantum gateway is almost gone. Some more shells onto that and it should be dead, but they fall in the wrong direction. And why would you build Cybran shields when you have Seraphim? Seraphim shields are so much stronger. You definitely want to use those. Hi, Scathus. Zorpy, 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 what are you going for? Over here, maybe? kind of looks like over here. Could be here. No. Maybe it's to the Navy. If they kill off the Navy, kill off all the build power. Where did that battleship go with the nuke? Did it die? I don't see the nuke battleship. There it is. Building another one. In come the shells. Looks like they are going for Iconic's base, and down they land. Random destruction. Inaccurate as hell, but still destruction. Kill off a massive amount of build power around here. Just gonna slow this. Geo says end this game. Guys, please. He's gotten tired. He's been under so much pressure. Trying to build a crab underwater. Interesting choice. It might work. But he's going to need assistance. Melanol. Yeah, you can. You can build any experimental underwater. You know what one of the fun ones is? Aeon, with teleport commanders and sacrifice ability. If you grab, I think it is 6 Aeon SACUs, if you teleport them somewhere, have them start building a GC, and then sacrifice those support commanders into the GC, it insta-builds. Try sometime. And Orochi builds an experimental. What has he built and where? Well, it's a Scathis. There's another one. It's underwater, but where are you going to send it? You don't want to send it here because it'll die. You can't send it over here because it'll die from the other Scathis. Where are you going to put it? I think they're trying to figure that out because it's not moving. You can't shoot from underwater, and look at the devastation. So much power dead. So much buildings dead. Eco all just gone. Over here, T3RD still having fun, knocking off things a little bit by little bit. Arrows up, units are in, crab is done. You've built it, use it, please for the love of God, use it. Do something. Throw it up there, get some shells out, you might be able to surprise. If you know all that's there, which I'm pretty sure you do, yeah, just fire the Scathis up there. Just get it out of the water, aim over here. You must have scouted that, you had a scout sitting over it when it finished. And yeah, there's T3RD landing, but this is 100% useless right now. You might as well move it there and launch it. His focus has to be elsewhere, that's all I can think. But I don't know where his focus could be. Where are the Scathis shells? Well, here they go. Are they actually going for the Navy? Yes, they are. Lobbing some shells down and just exploding anything in the nearby vicinity. I think that's a waste. Just go for the bases, go for the eco, kill everything. This still hurts me. Still absolutely hurts me. He must have forgotten about it, or he's AFK, or I don't know what. But anyhow, why is not Lord Tomato firing back? Because he has no sonar. It's not until this flies over, directly over, and spots them will these fire back. Sonar is important, folks. You gotta get your sonar. Unless you don't know what you're shooting at. Alright. Still sitting still. I'm just going to ignore that now. It's basically pointless. Over here we have the massive push coming in. Battleships off the shore. We have T3 subs in the water. And they are going to wreck the harms. They're going to wreck everything. Battleships might as well just focus down these, which I already have. No more units for you. Come in here, kill all that. Range kill all of that stuff. Just be on your way. Be some damage buffers for everything else. Don't worry about the megalith. Kill the lot. Geo says, dude, shoot their base with the Scathis. I don't know what he's shooting at. Is he actually shooting here with the Scathis? There is no navy. This is a terrible idea. But that's what he's shooting at, and that's an awful idea. That is a poor use of the Scathis. What's that? Oh, we have a crab on the left from Geo, and he's building a Soul Ripper as well. So he's trying to do something more interesting. But here we go. Scathis is finally moving. Just leave it there. Get it right under the tuck it right under the shields and start lobbing shells back. You know where the Scathers is. You have scouted it. You can see it. There you go. You know. Lob shells. Kill. Murder. Crush. Kill. Destroy. Dominate. Whatever. Because right now, this is going to be a bad time. Scathers has finally opened up on the base. Ah dear. More shields. Please. Just more shields. Lots more shields. All the fucking shields. But the Scathers fires back. Finally. Has taken some damage and may not last long with 3 artillery raining down, but more shields really fast, really quick. Stronger shields. Get them up. And here come the shells. Landing on down, are we going to see much in the way of damage? Much in the way of shields gone down? Well, a certain lot of damage on all of these. Have a look. That's a teleport. So that is, I think it's Naruchi, because he was, oh, he's on the Cybran. His com's going to get in range. Is it going to be enough? There we go. And he doesn't even have a laser actually. He's just teleported and he's standing right in the face of that. Geo says find their Scathers. Well, we know exactly where it is. And you're going to do something with your comm. There we go. He wakes up. He's found their Scathers. Focus it down, and that is a good pick there. He's going to turn around and kill off the artillery as well. There's nothing to stop him. There's no air, no nothing. And he can now do all of this with impunity. Some SACUs come in, move around. He might as well. Gets hit by a little bit of friendly fire. But I think he's going to go down with all these SACUs firing at him. Unless he gets he's fully ranked in vet. He's a dead man. But that was still kind of needed. And where's their Scathers? Well, it's died again. It's died again, and that is now 2 versus 3 with all the eco. And Hakan actually teleported himself in to assist. So he tallied his commander in to assist in killing over there, but this Scathers is almost done as well. Dear, oh dear. That's, yep. McNeil is basically out of the game. He can't build any kind of base without getting smashed by the, well, the 1T3 yarding now, but that is nice. His commander is down here. That's all he's got. He asks, why are you constantly shooting at my base? Because that's all they could reach. They could not reach any further. Oh, it's a 12. I thought, snap. Maybe they, I think maybe they reduced. I remember testing it years ago. I'm gonna say years ago. But yeah, as I say, there's a nuke. Oh hey, that thing was still building nukes. What's it nuking? Maybe this? Maybe it's nuking itself. That's always fun. Nuke your own commander, because why not? And yeah, I think it's going over here trying to kill all the support commanders, but they're scattering. I think they'll be okay. And hello, bug. Solar Ripper overhead. Gonna kill some stuff, but it's gonna take a lot of damage from all these bloody SAMs. Down to the yellow half health, just about already. Another salvo to be way down. Wants to kill those off as fast as it can to stay alive. Although there's more over here. That's not gonna get a lot more done. Unless the Scathers helps out and kills all the AA. There we go, that's going to keep it alive for a little bit longer. Maybe not that much longer. That's only T1 over there, should be alright. Going to take a long time to peel through the health of that thing. Whalers should be up on off the ground, they can do some damage to it. Rolls back in range of these guys and it's going to have a bad time. Maybe. If it stays out of range, she'd be right. McNeil is wandering with his commander, just figuring out where to go. Bug is retreating down under 2,000 health, not enough kills to get rank of veterancy, so it's not going to do anything else. Strat bombers come in, all bomb the exact same spot for only one successful bomb. The rest do nothing. Just a matter of time now, folks. Just a matter of time. Scath has come over. Hello. Hakan's all the way down here with his comm. He's been quite cheeky, being safe in the most unexpected spot. And down goes the bug. Too many SAMs. But it doesn't matter. Scath is far overhead now. Shells landing down, Navy getting crushed, build power going. Tomato builds a experimental, it's not that one, it's going to be a different one. I don't know what he's built, doesn't matter. Kind of unnecessary. Got some strat bombers out for Geo. I think they're going to go for something, I don't know what they're going to go for. They want to find these guys, and while they're in the water, get some torps up. That'll be your answer. Weigh this out, there's going to be nothing left on the ground. Solar Ripper number 2. Subs, and we're going to see the end of the nuclear battleship. Got herself a good bunch of kills, destroyed a lot of mass, 71,000, but not much more it can do, and it's going to die to submarines. Ripper's just having a hunt, looking for what it can kill, going to go down to flying over these SAMs, silly idea, and Strats going for eco once again. More Strats, there's some torpedo bombers, but they're actually going for these guys over here, doesn't matter. That was a lot of support commanders. Bit of stealth, bit of shields, a whole lot of, I swear those were attack launchers. I don't know what they were going to go for, there wasn't really anything to hit, nothing to snipe. See, old Geo has gone way back here, way out of range. Ben McNeil's going with his, but that is fine. And I think the next person we're going to see out will be, well, Iconics is out of the water. Kind of has to be. That battleship lasted a lot longer than I thought it would. Then again, 73,000 hit points. That takes a while to chew through. Couple of, nope, megalith and a monkey in the middle. But, yep, might as well. Iconics, walk into the water, mate. He knows it's over. He wanders on and gets himself killed off. And he goes down, leaving just the poor, nope, McNeil control Ks. That was a game and a half. That I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed that one. 1 hour, 21 minutes. And action virtually the entire time. Geo MVP on this side, holding off the massive pushes coming in from Iconics. Like Iconics was coming in, getting some support from his teammate as well, but I think despite Hackham with the laser kill over there, yes, he got that, and that was a key moment, I still think Geo holding for that long, with that much pressure on him, I would give him the MVP for the game. Just saying. He did an incredible job keeping that one. Massive game there, folks. Massive game. And just unfortunate about this, the first Gathis on there. Again, should have brought it back this way. Yes and no. I know, I kind of know why it was under Control K. I don't know if it was a Control K. I think it was. I didn't really see any units, but by the time he was dead, then maybe they died. But he felt his game was out. He had units in his face, units wrecking his base. He had no navy of his own, no support coming in, so he felt he was dead anyway. And still a good game. Great fight. Back and forth all over the place, a massive hold from Geo, a base trade in the middle, GC1 is down here, kills out McNeil, but then Konorak was basically out of the game, so he control K'd himself up there, and it was immense. Absolutely immense. I enjoyed that one. I can't imagine playing it though. I think at that point, how long did the game actually go for? Let's have a look. So game time was 1 hour 20, but real time 2 hours and 15 minutes. That's how long those guys were playing the game for. Because, you know, like, just connections, the somebody would have been at minus game speed because their computer couldn't handle it. These guys were playing this game for 2 hours and 15 minutes. Boy, oh boy, that is a long time to focus and concentrate, and at that point, your focus is absolutely gone. You're just thinking, you know, Some of the guys are probably very tired, very sleepy, which explains, the Scathers sitting in the water and not coming over there instead of there, which was already being hit by Artie. Silly idea to move it up here in my opinion. Really needed to come back here to be most effective. Anyway, I knew this was a long one, and I actually took a bit of a gamble. I had not watched this all the way through. I had not. So I'm glad it didn't desync. I'm glad the game kept on, because it would have been absolutely annoying to desync at like 1 hour, 5 minutes. You had no idea how the game ended up. As it was, that has been incredibly fun. Incredibly fun. Alright then. Next question is, do I have any more casts? The answer you've got is no. I don't have any more casts lined up. I knew that 1 hour 21 would take it out of me. And let's have a check. Not them, not them. Hey, you're welcome, Rice Fox. You have yourself a good night, sleep well, rest easy, and we'll see you another day. And no, I'm not really seeing any games for me to join. If I check the ladder match, a couple of people in there, not a huge amount. That is unfortunate. Isn't really anybody online either. So, hate to say, but I might be wrapping this one. Slightly shorter overall cast, but heckin' 1 hour 20 match. And unfortunately, no games on, so nothing more for me to do. Well guys, I'm going to wrap this one up, and I'm going to say I really hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed bringing it to you. That was a fun game to watch, enjoyable to cast, and boy oh boy, just mental. 1 hour 20, 2.25 hours playtime. Blah. Absolutely cold. Anyway folks, thank you for hanging around, thank you for watching. Have yourselves a good day, morning, evening, whatever time zone you're in. Take it easy, have fun, take care, and we shall see you next time.